isolated cases, in regards to like contact trace, things like that. They're isolated. And especially with the players, if we didn't see anything different with them, we would be allowed to resume skill work.
PR927FM.com, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
Happy New Year's from Brown & Wood. This month, get a 2020 Cadillac XT6. Save up to $5,000 plus 1.9% for 72 months. And remember, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
You demand perfection. That's why you drive the perfect car. Okay, maybe it's not exactly perfect, but it's perfect to get you to Domino's for their perfect $7.99 carry-out deal. Carry out any 3-topping pizza or a 10-piece order of wings, smothered in delicious sauces like hot buffalo, garlic parmesan, and honey barbecue, just $7.99 each. Demand the perfect carry-out deal at Domino's. Carry out only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary. Excludes XL and specialty pizzas. Crust availability varies by size.
Join the 19 million visitors and explore your naturally wonderful state park system this year. There are 41 state parks to visit in North Carolina. Thanks to the Connect NC bond passed by the taxpayers, North Carolina state parks are upgrading and building new camping facilities, restrooms, and visitor centers, giving you more features for your convenience. Every park will have a project underway sometime over the next 5 years. From a nature hike to camping, visit one of the 41 North Carolina state parks today. For more information, visit ncparks.gov.
They say nothing in life is free. Well, we're here to tell you they're wrong. Because when you switch to US Cellular, you can get the latest 5G phones for free with no hidden requirements. Yes, you heard that right. The Samsung Galaxy S20 FE or the Google Pixel 5 for free with no hidden requirements. US Cellular. Terms and conditions apply. See store or uscellular.com for details.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is where the fiesta never ends.
Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Wednesday for shrimp tacos for only $9.99.
Plus Wednesdays means all Mexican imports for only $2.50. Thursdays, enjoy your favorite beef, chicken, or shrimp fajitas for $1 for only $9.99. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
If you missed Pirate Radio Live, you missed.
Well, Donnie Kirkpatrick's still going to be here, and his son...
He actually has a natural tie to the baseball program.
His son is the coach now, Davis.
Yeah.
Former player, so he can come in and take over.
And he can do it while he's still offensive coordinator, so you get double bang for your buck.
But we kept going down...
right behind the football stadium.
We kept going down the rabbit hole and talking about who was left over, and I was just imagining Ryan Robinson, like, all alone, looking around.
Well, him, Matt Maloney.
I kind of picture that now.
Pirate Radio Live, weekdays from 3 to 6, right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this one purple.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello, everyone. Welcome in to Pirate Radio Live on a Tuesday. Clip Rock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios and coming to you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We're on 1250, 930. You can find us online, pr927fm.com. You can watch us on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Make sure you subscribe to Pirate Radio TV on YouTube, and you can watch all of our programs there, like this show. The Brian Bailey Show from Monday. If you're missing the hoops and the hoops talk, Brian Bailey had you covered on Monday's Brian Bailey Show. He talked to Antoine Jackson, ECU assistant basketball coach. That is available on YouTube and all of our other videos as well. Coming up on today's show, got a few guests to get to, including WITN Sports Director Billy Weaver. We'll talk about what's going on locally and beyond in the world of sports coming up at around 3:15. At 4 o'clock, we will talk to ECU Hall of Famer Sam Naren. He is a coach in the Washington Nationals organization. We will talk about what it was like for Sam in 2020, not having baseball to coach. What's the outlook for 2021 minor league baseball? Also, he'll be a part of the 2021 Downey's pitching and catching camp right here in Eastern North Carolina at North Pitt High School. We will talk about that as well with Sam Naren coming up at 4 o'clock. In the 4 o'clock hour, we'll also catch up with Stephen Igoe from Hoist the Colors. It's the latest news going on at ECU. How serious is Tennessee when it comes to filling their new AD opening with ECU's current athletics director, John Gilbert? We will talk a lot about that. We'll have some news on that in a moment as well. So that is on tap for today's show. We'll welcome back Shirley Rhodes to the show as our producer, and Chandler Honeycutt here as well. Shirley, welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Chandler did a great job yesterday.
Yeah, I was listening to the replay on the way into work this morning, and he did a good job.
We had
good job, Grasshopper.
Had some rough waters, and we were able to swim
That's
through
all right.
those.
I knew it'd been a while since he had done
Been a
it. Been a while. I knew it had been a while since he had been doing, been on this side of things. So I knew he was going to have a little bit of a hiccup here or there. It'd be a little rusty, but other than that, I knew he could get through the show. So
and now
I wouldn't have left him in charge if I didn't think he could do it.
Now moving forward, we also have two extra news desks. We have the Shirley Rhodes news desk and the Chandler Honeycutt news desk. So Shirley, we'll see what's on your news desk first.
You want me to do it right now?
Any news of the day items we should speak on as we kick off today's show?
Okay, well, let's talk about the postponements first.
Yeah.
Because we got a few of those.
Yeah.
The Hurricanes-Predators game that was scheduled for tonight has been postponed. Vanderbilt and Texas A&M basketball game that was scheduled for tomorrow night has been postponed. However, ECU's women's team will be traveling to Tulsa for a 7 o'clock tip-off tomorrow night. So that, as of right now, that's still on. So that's what we got as far as that. A couple of NFL news. The Rams possibly are looking at former Falcons defensive coordinator Raheem Morris as a possible replacement for their defensive coordinator position. So they're looking at that.
A pretty good job as their interim coach. They played a lot better down the stretch.
Yeah, and here's one for you, Clip. Now, this is just this is not the big award, but it's a good indicator. The Pro Football Writers Association has named Chase Young their Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Well deserved.
Yes, I think so. And now that's not the big award that the NFL gives out, but it's a pretty good indicator. So there you have that.
All right.
So, and one other college note. North Carolina says no fans are going to be allowed at any of their spring sports events. And the NCAA tournament, we've finally got those dates for March. The first four, or as I like to call them, the play-in games, will begin on March 18th. The first and second rounds will be held March 19th through the 22nd. Sweet 16 will be March 27th and 28th. The Elite 8 will be the 29th and 30th. And then the final four games will be played in primetime April 3rd and April 5th.
So we will still have a first four. Those games usually at Dayton, but everything going to be in Indianapolis,
and
I believe, this year.
Yeah, and according to this, it will begin on March 18th.
All right.
So that's what I've got at my news desk.
All right, a couple other postponements tonight in college basketball. A couple top 25 games will be postponed. UCLA, Oregon, also Oklahoma State, West Virginia. Let me check the NBA real quick.
While you're doing that, I did have one more because I forgot to write it down, though.
Okay.
5 members of NC State's basketball program are in quarantine after two people tested positive for COVID-19. So they're having all sorts of COVID issues over there at NC State.
Yeah, and we can relate here at ECU. Chandler, I believe you said, we'll go to your news desk now. You said no Hornets Wizards Wednesday night.
Yeah, that has been postponed. Apparently, according to Big Dog yesterday on the show, the Wizards are under the limit of players available for the game. So that that has been postponed. So the Hornets on a little hiatus themselves.
All right.
I think I saw that the Hornets will now officially have 5 days off. Their last game was played on, I think, Saturday, and they lost to the Toronto Raptors. Tampa Bay Raptors, I should say.
The Tampa Bay Raptors. Chandler, what else is on your news desk?
I got some interesting / unfortunate news out of Jackson, Mississippi.
All right.
Involving Jackson State's head football coach. Now, if that sounds kind of familiar, it's probably because their head football coach is no other than primetime Deion Sanders. He has been robbed.
Oh, no.
And he wasn't robbed from his home. He was robbed out of his truck at practice. And Deion actually had some comments on, this is weird, 24/7 Sports. It says that, and I quote, "I have a black Ford F-350, and it was broken into last night," Sanders said this week in a video he posted on Instagram from the practice. In the video, he was on the practice field at Jackson State. So, and then he goes on to say, a white Suburban came at 5:37 in the morning, broke the window out, and stole a boombox.
A boombox?
And
what year is this? 1988?
Well, you know, primetime is primetime. And in his primetime, I think boomboxes were a big thing, right? But this is just no ordinary boombox. He says that this is one that my dearest friend gave me as a birthday gift, and I'm a little disturbed because the boombox has sentimental value.
A sentimental boombox.
And he says, I'm offering a reward to find that boombox. I want that boombox back. He goes on to say, I don't give a darn about the window. We can always get that replaced, even the material things.
But boomboxes are irreplaceable.
He says, I want that back. I love you, Jackson, in reference to Jackson, Mississippi. He says, I appreciate you. There will be a reward. Please find my boombox. Streets, please find my boombox.
So he called out to the streets to help him find this boombox.
Yep. So that's the story out of Jackson, Mississippi today.
All right. Let's go to the Facebook Live news desk. Steve Hill says the Washington football team just officially changed their mascot to Panthers, part 2, because Marty Herney is about to be on board.
You could say the same thing for the Buffalo Bills.
I know, and I like the way that's trending. So maybe this is what we need to do. We need to turn our organization into the Panthers part 3, because the Bills are, one game away from making it to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Work for them. It's going to work for us.
And I might be in the 1% of Panther fans that doesn't hate Marty Herney. I actually really I don't admire him, but I also don't hate him. And he gave us some of our best players in franchise history, like Julius Peppers, Steve Smith, Cam Newton, Luke Kuechly.
I mean, an easy punching bag, I guess, over the years. He was famous for, like, our Armani Edwards, I guess, that pick, and some duds. But
Will Greer.
We'll get into this with Tony on Friday, too, and get your thoughts with it as well, Chandler. Robert on Facebook Live says, Clipper!
Her monitor went off. Terrible timing.
Thank you, Shirley. Welcome back. All right.
And thanks, Atticus.
Thank you, Atticus, for that. And thank you, Tyler Feldman, for
the Clipper.
For starting that, which Atticus then copied Feldman by saying Clipper. And thank you, Robert, for doing it. This is stupid. All right.
It's a total goat rodeo.
It is a total goat rodeo going on right now. Let's see. John Gilbert, ECU Athletics Director. His name has been mentioned with the vacancy now. Philip Fulmer stepping down at Tennessee as their athletics director. We'll talk to Igoe about this when he joins us later in the show. How serious is it? I went to Tennessean.com, newspaper there in Tennessee, and they have a bunch of stories. The Pruitt era, only the latest of Tennessee's epic failures. That's a story. What violations did UT commit? That's a story that I can click on and read. And then for subscribers only, top candidates to replace Philip Fulmer as Tennessee AD. I could not read this story because it's subscribers only, but guess who they used as the picture to accompany the story?
John Gilbert.
You are correct, sir. So that is a bit of cause for caution there. So we'll see how serious it is from the Tennessee perspective. And John Gilbert, we'll talk about that with Billy Weaver in a moment and with Stephen Igoe later in the show. Once again, ECU basketball on hiatus. It has not apparently affected the women's team. Shirley says they'll be in action, on Wednesday, Shirley? So women's basketball still a go at ECU. I mean, no official word yet, but I got to imagine the game Sunday against Memphis is in peril right now because ECU, as Antoine Jackson said yesterday, the players are unable to use the practice facility. I mean, they got to get to practice before they can think about a game. So
yeah, according to some sources, the game. Well, of course, right now the game is still on. Oh yeah, we have sources. We all have sources.
All right,
you just got to look for them.
Okay.
But as of right now, the game is still on. If the game is played on Sunday, no other than Steve Rockefort will take over the head coaching duties for the program
because
he has some head coaching experience at Lamar.
Hey, read the bio.
Read the bio.
He was at Lamar. Chandler read the bio. Well done. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back. Billy Weaver will join us to hit on the hot topics in the world of sports, including right here in our backyard. We got that coming up on Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back with a whole lot more after this.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by GolfKnickers.com, the world's leader in traditional golf apparel. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water-soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
In studio with Dr. Shondell Jones today from Kinetic Physical Therapy. What's new for 2021?
Well, 2020 has been a tough year for a lot of people, especially with the pandemic. And so, listen, we've got a way that people can kind of get that control back. We call it a power up package to start the year. And it's a mix of health coaching and personal training so that people can actually meet those goals and get back in shape. So to meet your goals in 2021, go to kptonline.com or give us a call at Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness at 364-2806.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Corey Scott, former ECU Baseball All-American. During my playing days, I specialized on the field as a closer. Now, as your mortgage loan officer, I am once again specializing in closing. But this time, I am closing for you, not just the Pirates. At Movement Bank, we offer portfolio loans such as 100% doctor loans with no PMI, home equity lines of credit, and jumbo loans, all at historically low rates. Contact me today, and I will be your closer. Call Coach Corey at 378-5252. That's 378-5252. And go Pirates.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. Your office deserves a proactive tech support approach instead of always reacting to issues after the damage is done. You need BizCare. BizCare tech support and cybersecurity plans keep you ahead of potential issues and much safer from cyber threats like ransomware. What's at your office? Call William today to schedule your free BizCare consultation or learn more at universitypccare.com.
Wait up. Papa John's has a new stuffed crust? Oh, we did it. All our tweets, DMs, and carrier pigeons worked. This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuffed.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Epic Stuffed Crust One-Topping Pizza for only $12. The new Epic Stuffed Crust Pizza is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
This is Marcus Crandall, former ECU Pirate and Grey Cup champion. And you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful, and that's why it's important to have a bank in your corner when you need them. As the business world throws you curveballs, Select Bank and Trust is here to be responsive to your needs. Select Bank's team of local bankers can make local decisions and cares about you, the customer. Get the business services that are right for your business today with Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select. And Clip, as we head back in to Pirate Radio Live, I just got a tweet here, and this is coming from WITN. Vidant Health says that a large-scale vaccination effort will begin next week in Greenville. The hospital system says that the site will open up at the Greenville Convention Center coming up on Monday, and the system says that appointments will be required for eligible community members and that scheduling details will be released in the upcoming days. They are hoping to have a goal of administering more than 4,000 vaccines per week, depending on the state's vaccine allocation. So that just came down the pipeline just a minute ago. And if you'll give me a second, I'll have Mr. Weaver on the phone here momentarily.
Little community news there. Chandler, we'll talk about this more in a moment, but you asked me earlier today, and yes, I have seen the chatter on social media that at least one place, Deshaun Watson's landing spot, the betting favorite right now, was Carolina. Although I did see one where the Jets were also a potential landing spot as the best bet. But we'll get into it a little later. But early reaction when you see that? Excitement time?
Yeah,
nervous?
Absolutely.
Excitement time!
But the thing is that, and it's probably going to take this to get Deshaun Watson.
This is what we're going to talk about a little later on.
Do I need to save it?
No, but I'll set it up.
Well, here.
Are you willing to give up Christian McCaffrey to get Deshaun Watson? That's going to be your homework assignment. We'll answer later in the show.
Okay, that sounds good.
Think about it. Get your take ready.
It's going to take a lot of thinking.
I want you to get on the whiteboard there, pros and cons of losing McCaffrey for Deshaun Watson.
I probably won't do that, but I will think of something to say.
All right, let's head out to the Fixed NC Live line now. Talk to WITN Sports Director Billy Weaver, who joins us. Weave, how you doing, man? I got a question for you, too. But first of all, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you? I'm very curious about your question now.
Well, it regards Deshaun Watson. I put out a poll on Twitter over the weekend. I was just thinking about Deshaun Watson, what it would take to get him. And I said, are you willing to give up Chase Young to get Deshaun Watson?
No. Stop right there. Stop.
All right.
Stop.
Okay. Stop.
Stop.
All right.
Stop. To tell you the truth, I don't know of, right off the top of my head, anybody out there I'd give up for Chase Young.
Are you serious?
And now listen. You got to listen to my reasoning behind this. Because when you take Chase Young out of that front four, you not only take away Chase Young, you take away the leader of that front four, arguably one of the best, and could be, I mean, this could be equivalent to the Hogs back in the day on the offensive line with this defensive line. When you take that piece of the puzzle out of there, you're giving up more than just player for player. You're giving up cohesiveness. You're giving up your team captain. You're giving up what other guys think of him on the field, and not just on the defensive side of the ball. You got to think about people on the offensive side of the ball that love Chase Young, that when he's a cheerleader on that sideline,
Billy,
I think he brings more than just. I mean, who would you trade for him?
Those people on the offensive side of the ball would love a Pat Mahomes or Deshaun Watson, their quarterback, as well. I think they would share their love.
I tell you what, Patrick Mahomes is probably the only guy off the top of my head I would take for Chase Young, not Deshaun Watson.
I am not running to get rid of Chase Young here. Don't get me wrong. I just threw it out.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. It's purely hypothetical.
And you know what's funny, Weave? I set up the answers. Like, there's 4 different answers. I am a Washington fan. Yes. I am a Washington fan. No. I am not a Washington fan. Yes. I'm not a Washington. So, and it's interesting that the largest vote went to I'm not a Washington fan. Yes, I would do that trade. The smallest percentage of the vote was I'm a Washington fan. Yes, I would do that trade. So Washington fans like yourself are saying, hell no, we're not getting rid of Chase Young. People who are kind of unbiased looking at it from the outside, who probably didn't watch Chase Young for 16 weeks in a playoff game, said, yeah, I'd do that deal.
Right.
So I found that kind of interesting, Weave, that for people that watched our team play all year, they were saying, no, we're not going to do that deal.
Well, how many times have we talked about how people in the national media don't know the ins and outs of players at ECU?
Oh, sure.
Just because they don't see them on a weekly and during football season, especially during a non-COVID season, on a daily basis, the way the local sports media, us, that we see. So a lot of times we see some of the things that national media guys say or, gets on the national news that you're like, that's absurd because they don't know. They don't know the ins and outs. And I think that falls into that same category. If you're a Washington fan, obviously you probably watched every game. And not only that, like me, every time I see an article come across social media or something that has to do with Chase Young, I read it. And I'm interested in it because he's one of the star players on the team, so I read it, and then you kind of find out even more little intricate details. So that's why I say I wouldn't make that trade. And I don't think that's I don't think that's unique to any team or whatever. The more you know about the team, the more I think you make a better educated decision.
Yeah,
for sure.
We'll stick with football while we're on the topic. Chiefs Bills this weekend. So Patrick Mahomes leaves the game on Sunday, goes into concussion protocol, and he I guess passes. He's still in protocol, but the issue was his, I guess, neck and not his brain. Which is kind of a different deal here where, okay, he's good enough to go play as far as a concussion goes, but he was reportedly injured due to a nerve in his neck that got tweaked, and that's why he looked so kind of shaky on the field. It looked kind of scary for a minute there. So, I don't know the lasting effects of this. It's not great news if you're a Chiefs fan, but I would be shocked if we didn't see him play against the Bills this Sunday.
Yeah, of course I'm no medical professional, and I'm probably the farthest from a medical professional. So that's why in those cases, and head coaches will tell you the same thing. We're making our decisions based on what the medical professionals tell us, and obviously that's what's going to happen. On the flip side of that, anytime even just the normal average Joe like you and me hears anything involved with head, neck, and spine, it's scary.
Yeah.
It really is. And of course you want to do everything possible to limit those injuries and a reoccurrence of those injuries, and you want to make 100% sure that your guy is good to go before you send them back out there on the field. So I would hope, and it's, obviously if you're a Chiefs fan, or pulling for the Chiefs, or you got money on the Chiefs or whatever, you want him in there because he obviously gives you the best possibility to win. But they're just going to have to be very careful with this, and I think they're going to do everything they can to get him on the field, obviously.
And this is an awful segue, but it has a happy ending, and I do want to promote that coming up today at 6, right, Shirley? The Pirate Radio podcast is back, a special edition. Ellerby and Eddie Losner will be in studio, and they'll be talking to Eric Legrand. And you may remember that name. He was a defensive tackle, played for Rutgers, and was paralyzed making a tackle on the field. And man, he has changed so many lives since then. He is doing awesome, and you'll hear his story and what he's doing now coming up today at 6 o'clock. It's a special edition of the Pirate Radio podcast with Eric Legrand. And that's appointment radio and appointment podcast listening, because he's a guy, Billy, that had one of those injuries and it did not go well, and he had to be paralyzed. But what he's done with his life has been pretty remarkable. So, folks, and Billy Weaver, make sure you check that out coming up tonight at 6.
I will definitely check that out because I'm a big fan of success stories by way of injury. And I know this is a little bit different, but the whole Alex Smith story this year just intrigued the heck out of me, because although he's not paralyzed and although he was able to make it back into the NFL and play at a high level, people that really don't know the inside story and don't realize how very close to death he was. And that's from a leg injury. How many surgeries he had to go through, how the infection went from doctors talking about taking and amputating his leg, even to the fact that, they were worried about him losing his life, not just his leg. So, that's one of the better stories in the NFL this year. I've always been a big fan of comeback stories from injuries. And, not all of them are as happy as the Alex Smith story, where he's actually able to come back and play in the sport. Many of the guys are done for their careers, but they go on and they do such great things in the community, and they become such advocates for, not only, being strong and staying with it and, a belief in a higher power and things like that. But it just goes to show you that, these guys are gladiators out there, man. And we take it for granted on Sundays or on Saturday afternoon in college football that it's entertainment to us, but at a moment's notice, you could be paralyzed or even worse, lose your life. So I'm a big fan of those stories, and I'll definitely tune in.
Billy Weaver, WITN Sports Director, joining us on the Fixed NC Live Line. For you, you're a tad older than me. For you, the names might have been like Troy Aikman, Dan Marino, maybe even Doug Flutie. For me, it keeps me feeling young when guys like Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees are still playing quarterback, because I've watched them pretty much, my entire adult life playing football. Well, it looks like Brees is stepping down. The good news, I'll feel a little younger the next 5 years, because Tom Brady looks like he's not going to retire anytime soon. But what did you think when you watched Brees on Sunday? And certainly not the Drew Brees we remember from all those years, but looks like he might have played one final game on Sunday.
Yeah, that was must-see TV for me, man. I definitely wanted to tune into that game, and I watched the entire game. And, I think I've talked to you about this before, that I guess it's a little different, of course, when you get into, deep into the playoffs, you watch the entire game. But for a lot of times, if it's not Washington or if it's not Dallas, I tune in and out to games. This one kept my attention the entire time, because I knew what was at stake. Obviously, a trip back to the conference championship for one of those two icons. Brady, of course, he's the GOAT. He's the best of the best. But, I knew what was on the line in that aspect and the kind of historical significance of it. I actually was pulling for the Bucks, not for any other reason, but I was just kind of felt like I had to pull for a team, so I went with them. Just kind of a toss of the coin, basically. But the most amazing thing that I saw was on social media afterwards, that well after the game, and I'm sure you saw this video, of Drew Brees coming back out on the field and finding Tom Brady and their families interacting, and Brady throwing a touchdown pass to one of Drew Brees' kids in the end zone, and they had a big hug before Brady left the stadium. That's priceless to me. I mean, that just goes to show you the respect that those two have for one another, the respect for the game, and that was what was really cool, was seeing that after the game.
No doubt. And, man, what an awesome Hall of Fame career for Drew Brees. The Hall of Fame career rolls on for Tom Brady. How about a Brady-Rogers showdown at Lambeau on Sunday, Weave? You want to talk about must-see TV. There you go.
Yeah. And speaking of icons, again, I mean, if you can't get excited about Brady Brees and then the very next week, Brady and Rogers, you just don't like football. I mean, because that's history right there. We are going to tell grandkids probably one day that, when they start talking about greatest quarterbacks of all time, these are the names that are going to pop up. I can remember, you're going to be saying to your grandkids, I can remember watching Tom Brady and Drew Brees play against each other, and, or Brady and, Aaron Rodgers playing against one another for the right to go to the Super Bowl. And, these are things that people tell their kids and grandkids about. So I'm excited about this one, too.
Hell, Billy, our grandkids might be watching Tom Brady still play. I mean, the guy is like some kind of freak. Like the TB12 method and all that, whatever funky voodoo it is, it's working. That's all I know. So
you would have figured Breeze would have got into the voodoo being down in New Orleans. Huh?
You're right. Yeah. All right, Billy. Unfortunately, another week without ECU basketball here. They are on hiatus, and again, I think the Sunday game is doubtful. That's just me personally. I hadn't heard anything, but I keep going back to Antoine Jackson, assistant coach, yesterday on the Brian Bailey show, saying that the players aren't allowed in the basketball facility. So the question is, what kind of turnaround is there on, all right, you're available to get back in the gym to playing a game? I don't know how long they need for that turnaround, but we'll see what happens this Sunday if they can get a game in.
Yeah, and I would say it's probably slim chance as well, because I was listening to that yesterday as well, that interview, and a point that he brought up that I thought was a good point is that, when you're an athlete, especially a Division I athlete, or, when you go on to the pros or whatever, when you take time, because they're not working out. It's not that they're not, getting together to practice. They're not working out in the gym. They're not, keeping their body, they're not going at a high rate of activity right now. You go from playing basketball, working out every day, to nothing. You can't just step right back out on the court and expect to play at a high level. It just doesn't happen that way. And anybody that's ever been kind of maybe a workout fiend, or, a guy that's, or a woman that's very physically fit, and these people stay in the gym, and they can tell you that if you're out of and I think there's a statistic about it, that if you stop working out within 72 hours, you take a major step back, that you have to continue. Once you start working out and get into the grind, you got to continue to work out to stay at a certain level. And these guys haven't been able to do that. So to have them get back on the court, and I also think that, I heard in the interview on the Brian Bailey show yesterday, that once they do get back in, it's just one athlete, one ball, one coach. Yeah. Then they got to rotate. Somebody else comes in because they can't all get together at the same time right off the bat. So it's going to be tough to get back on the court. It really is.
Billy Weaver joining us. We've the state of hoops, the state of basketball, not going well right now for North Carolina. I talked about it yesterday. The first time Duke and North Carolina have been outside of the AP Top 25 since the early 80s. The first time no team from the state of North Carolina has been in the AP Top 25 since 1970. Duke will try to reverse course on that tonight when they take on Pittsburgh on the road at 9 o'clock. And I've asked this to everybody I've brought it up to, Weave. Is this a COVID deal, or would this be the case if everything was normal? Is it just Duke is young, North Carolina is inexperienced, the inexperienced backcourt? Would we be going through this with these teams if we were in a normal year? Kind of impossible to answer, but what's your take on it?
Yeah, it is. It's really hard to answer that one, because I think it's a little bit of both, and I think the COVID has obviously made it worse. Now, I really don't think that if we were in if this was a normal year and we weren't in a COVID year, I don't think that Duke would have fell out of the top 25. I mean, I think they'd still be hanging on even if they still had the same record, if that makes any sense. And that's just an absolute guess. I just think the COVID situation has a lot to do with that. And, you know, with trying to get back into games and postponements and all that, it's put a terrible monkey wrench into everything. And, you know, I saw what you saw yesterday as far as first time since 1982 that North Carolina and Duke were both out of the top 25. And, you know, there's another blue blood that's not in there.
Kentucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we talked to Jeff Nadeau yesterday, just for good measure. He threw in Louisville and Michigan State as well. So it's...
Yeah, I mean, the tides have certainly turned in college basketball. That is for sure. And, yeah, I mean, in 1982, you remember I think that was Coach K's third year at Duke. I think they might have had an under 500 record, and people at Duke, the alums, were trying to run him out of town. And good thing they didn't, huh?
Yeah, I've done a lot. I've done reading on old ACC stuff, and like, didn't they hang Dean Smith in effigy or something like in his first couple years, and wanted Coach K out early, and things have just changed so much that it's not like fans didn't want those coaches out. It's just the schools gave them a little extra time, and they just built absolute dynasties there over the years. So.
Which is very hard for administrators and schools to do now, and especially in this age where everybody's voice is heard through social media or whatever. It's hard for those top officials at universities, to hang on to a guy more than 3 years if he's not performing. So, you know, it's even harder now to keep somebody around that's not doing well pretty quickly.
Well, speaking of decision makers in college athletics, Billy, John Gilbert's name is in the news as Tennessee gets rid of Jeremy Pruitt. Phil Fulmer retires at Tennessee, so they got a couple of openings there. And John Gilbert's name mentioned with that potential opening. What, if anything, have you heard regarding that, Billy?
Well, from what I understand, I think the AD at Coastal is one of those high up on the list, and there's a couple of other guys that have done really wonders at other universities and made a lot of national headlines. You know, the thing is, John Gilbert does have those ties, but he hasn't made the national headlines the way a couple of these other guys have. But you never know. You know, I would hate to see. You know, you always wish somebody the best, obviously.
Right.
And, you know, we're in a situation here at East Carolina, we've seen it time and time again, where we want our coaches and our administrators to do well, because obviously that in turn makes ECU better. But the problem with that is when they do that, when coaches win, they get noticed.
Yep.
And bigger programs come calling. And, you know, we hope we keep John Gilbert around, but it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't get a serious look at the administration job at Tennessee, the AD job.
Billy Weaver joining us. Weave has a sign in his office. It's one of those, it has been this many days since a New York Mets incident. And not
a complete 1 day yet.
You look, with the Lindor stuff, you had a nice run of like 4 or 5 days of good news, Billy. That came crashing down last night and this morning as the Mets fired their GM, Jared Porter. It had been uncovered that he sent unsolicited lewd messages to a female journalist in 2016. And you can do the reading and get into the details if you want, Weave. But it did kind of seem like that things were going in a nice direction with Cohen, and we're a family and integrity and all that. And then boom, this pops up.
It's funny because about an hour ago, I had this discussion with my girlfriend. I said to her, after I read the article and kind of went into detail about what exactly was sent with those text messages, and they were obviously unsolicited by the female reporter. I said to her these exact words. I said, "It truly amazes me at how dumb, how stupid, how ignorant smart people can be at times." Because I told her, I said, to be a general manager of a major professional team, it doesn't matter what sport it's in, you got to be kind of smart. I mean, you do. There's just no two ways about it. How someone can be that dumb shocks me. It really does.
Yeah.
And if you want to know exactly how dumb, go read up on it.
Yeah, Google it up.
It's entertaining to say the least.
Yeah. Billy, do we need to find some dirt on Marty Herney so he won't become the GM with Washington? Now, I kid.
I was wondering what your take on that was going to be.
I don't know, man. He's such a punching bag for the Panthers over the years. Chandler just reeled off a ton of huge names that he did draft in the NFL draft. So I don't know if he became like an easy figure to target and to be negative about. There's a lot of people that don't like him. There's a few certain amount of fans that thought he did a good job. I'm not a huge fan of it. It just feels like I'm giving my buddy a job type of thing, and I don't know. If you're asking if I'm for or against it, I guess I would be against it, but I'm not, jumping off a cliff or anything.
Well, and I think it's an easy answer for me. It really is. And my whole take on this is, if I could, and I could get the most honest answer you could ever get from one person about Marty Herney, would sell me for him or against him, and that's Ron Rivera.
Yeah, there's that.
If Ron is good with him and really likes the hire and works well with him and all that, I'm sold.
Right now, we're kind of trusting him with whatever goes, right, Billy? Until otherwise,
absolutely.
Yeah,
he's my guy.
Yeah.
He's my guy. And you know what? That I haven't been able to say that about many head coaches since probably Joe Gibbs.
Absolutely. Yep, that's the one that comes to mind. Yeah. I'm with you there. All right, what do we got in high school sports? Is the big volleyball match tonight? Conley Rose?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Conley and Rose are going to play tonight for the right to go to the state championship in volleyball, which is a really cool deal, just because of the fact that I think, not that I'm pulling for either side, make you aware of that right now.
I'm pulling for Conley, by the way, folks, since I went there. So I'll
I know, and people would think that I would pull for Conley. Both of my kids went there. One of my best friends retired as a teacher from there, and I get it. But with that being said, not that I'm pulling for anybody, I like the Rose story. Just because they were a 15 seed. There's 16 seeds on either side of the bracket. There's 32 teams in each classification. 16 in the East, 16 in the West. They were a 15 seed that had to go on the road the entire time. So they've had to win every game on the road. And, of course, they're going on the road again tonight, which is right down the street, obviously, to Conley. So that's not a big deal. But they've had to go on the road. Of course, J.H. Rose is a perennial powerhouse in volleyball, and Norman Cabacar over there has always done a great job. So it's not shocking that they were able to get, past the first, second round or whatever. But, getting deep in the playoffs and you're playing tough teams on the road is always hard, and they've been able to do it pretty easily, I might add, as well, too. So I like the Rose story, and as far as, who's going to win tonight, I have no idea. You're talking about a number 1 seed in Conley and a number 15 seed in Rose. I just like the storyline. I think it's going to be cool, and whoever wins will certainly deserve that trip to the state title.
Is the state title at a neutral site, or is that going to be on the high school sites? Weave, do you know?
Yeah, it's going to be at all of them are going to be at a neutral site in Cary.
All right.
And that's going to be next Saturday, or this Saturday. I'm sorry, this Saturday. So they'll all be in Cary at a neutral site.
10-4. Weave, good stuff, man. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you again soon.
You too, man.
Billy Weaver, WITN Sports Director, joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. We will take a time out, come back, and have more for you on Pirate Radio Live. Just saw this while I was talking to Weave. In addition to the concussion protocol that Patrick Mahomes has to pass to be able to play against the Bills on Sunday, he is also dealing with a foot issue, per source. This according to Adam Schefter. He must still go through certain steps to clear concussion protocol in the coming days. There's hope and optimism, considering he is expected to practice on Wednesday. All eyes on Patrick Mahomes as the AFC Championship is looming on Sunday, and can be heard right here on Pirate Radio. We'll take a timeout, come back, and wrap up hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful. That's when it's most important to have a community bank and a local banker in your corner. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust. Our team of local bankers care about you, our customer, and the communities in which we all live and serve together. As the business and economic conditions of 2020 threw you many curveballs, our team at Select Bank and Trust remains steadfast in being responsive to your ever-changing needs. In 2021, choose Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove in New Bern is offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. You can visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street. And have you heard? Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
Bostic Sugg Furniture wants to know, how'd you sleep last night? If you're like thousands, the answer is probably not very well. You're tired, stressed, your job suffers, and worse, your health suffers. Get better sleep on a Restonic mattress, a Consumer's Digest Award winner 13 years running. Restonic Queen mattresses start as low as $4.99. Restonic two-sided Queen mattresses from only $6.99. If you're ready to wake up to a whole new you, we have a Restonic mattress waiting for you exclusively at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
It's time to pack your bags and head to CPW's for a culinary stroll through the world-famous French Quarter while counting down the days to Mardi Gras. The staff is cooking up some Cajun delights that are guaranteed to make your mouth water. Indulge, if you will, on the homemade gumbo of the day and fried green tomato remoulade, etouffee, or Cajun-style shrimp. So grab a taste of New Orleans and let the good times roll with CPW's, Stanton Square, across from the hospital in Greenville.
Championship Sunday is on Pirate Radio.
Brady takes the snap, dives straight ahead, and he is in for the Tampa Bay touchdown. Tom Brady with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Shotgun snap. Here's a four-man rush and a line drive throw caught by Kelsey at the 10 on the hash mark to 5. Hurdles a defender, goes to the goal line. Touchdown!
Tune in Sunday for Bucks Packers and Bills Chiefs right here on Pirate Radio, your radio home for the NFL playoffs.
Hi, this is Morgan Ehlers, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Are you in outside sales and looking for an opportunity to increase your earning potential? CopyPro has been in Eastern North Carolina for over 45 years and continues to grow each year, and they are in need of more sales professionals with a desire to potentially make a six-figure income. Do you have what it takes? Visit copypro.net today to submit your resume and to learn more. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Alrighty, thank you, Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, intern Tully here as well on a Tuesday. Got some postponements tonight in the world of sports, but plenty of action regarding top 25 teams in basketball at 6:30. Purdue and Ohio State will tip off on the Big Ten Network at 7 o'clock on ESPN. Number 6, Tennessee. Tennessee is 10-1. Their basketball is going pretty well right now. They will be on the road at Florida. Michigan is at number 7, Maryland is at number 7, Michigan, I should say. Coming up at 7 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. Missouri is 19th in the country. They'll take on South Carolina on the SEC Network at 7 o'clock. Big Ten Network at 8:30. Illinois, number 22 in the nation, is taking on Penn State. That one in Champaign. It'll be Seton Hall at Villanova. Villanova has not been able to get in too many games this year. They are third in the country, sitting at 8-1 right now. They will take on the Pirates of Seton Hall. And then Alabama is on the road tonight at LSU, 9 o'clock on ESPN2. Also Duke in action tonight, not in the top 25. They will be taking on Pittsburgh. Light night in the association tonight. Just 2 games scheduled, I believe. It'll be the Thunder and Nuggets at 9 o'clock and the Pelicans and Jazz coming up. And, man, unfortunately, we're not going to get Todd Graffinini on the show. I was waiting for the Saints to make it to the NFC Championship to get the Pelicans play-by-play voice Todd Graffinini on, but they came up 1 game short on Sunday, and it will be Chiefs and Bills and Bucks and Packers, Shirley Rhodes, on Sunday right here on Pirate Radio.
Yeah, and we'll have all of those games for you right here on Pirate Radio. I was just taking a look at Pro Football Talk's Twitter page, and they just put out a report that supposedly the Eagles are planning to interview Kellen Moore coming up tomorrow. So that'll be an
When are they interviewing you? Because they've interviewed everybody else at this point.
Who, the Eagles?
Yes.
I expect my call to be coming in probably during the show. So
now,
I'll let you know.
There's 2 ways to look at this, and I've seen one way, and that's from angry Eagles fans like, we have no clue what we're doing. There's another way you can look at it that says they're doing their due diligence. So I guess it depends on if you're glass half empty or glass half full. It's pretty clear that they didn't have their guy in mind, or at least they didn't go get the guy they had in mind when they fired Doug Peterson. A lot like ECU coaching searches when you fire Ruffin McNeil and you don't have a clue what you're going to do to fill that spot. So you go through all the candidates and you end up with a guy that nobody's really heard of in Scotty Montgomery. And then the next time around, you fire Scotty Montgomery and you get your guy the next day in Mike Houston, a package deal with John Gilbert. Not a package deal, but they get them at the same time. So it's kind of one of those things, Shirley. Do you like it if your team is interviewing 12 guys, or do you dislike it because it's clear they don't know what they want right now?
Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it as far as do you think it was a knee-jerk reaction because the fans were upset with Doug Peterson because of, what took place close to the end of the season with the whole Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts situation, where there seems to be also division between the front office and Doug Peterson as far as who is going to be your starting quarterback. So there's all of that going on. So you let him go. You don't know who to replace him with. You don't want to hire the first guy that comes across, because then, like you said, they could not, they potentially would be viewed as not seeing their due diligence, or if they don't know what they're doing. It's just Philly's a hot mess is what it is.
And you're seeing all these other teams get their guy.
Yeah, and who wants to go to Philly right now as, unstable as that environment is as far as the team goes? It's one thing if the team is, kind of unstable at the head coaching position, but everything else seems to be rock solid. So you just replace, that one little piece. But it looks like they are missing several puzzle pieces within that organization. And, I got to be honest, if I'm a candidate, I'm going to be slightly nervous going into that situation.
The Carson Wentz thing is mind-boggling to me because I just, as recent as, I guess, last year, thought, man, this is not good that he's in my division and is going to be there for a long time because it's crazy. But when the Eagles have Lane Johnson, Carson Wentz would chew up and beat the Redskins, and when he was out of the game, Washington would get 6 or 8 sacks on Wentz, and he wouldn't do much. But now he's just, he was a healthy scratch. They benched him, they put in Hurts, and you got to find out, does the front office want him to be the guy moving forward, and are they bringing in a young coach like Kellen Moore to coach him up at quarterback and make him the guy of the future? I don't know.
That whole Carson Wentz thing, for me, is more confusing just because, when he got injured and Nick Foles came in, took him to the Super Bowl, I was like, okay, well, that's a once-in-a-lifetime, I shudder to use the word, but like a once-in-a-lifetime fluke. You don't see that happen very often where a backup quarterback comes in and basically takes your team to the Super Bowl, and then you have that whole debate. Do you bring back Carson, who was successful until he got injured, but now he's simply not the same Carson Wentz, obviously. And I don't know if they were just trying to baby him along because of his contract or what, but it just seemed like Jalen had a better idea of the offense, could move the ball up and down the field. And if you're a head coach, you got to put in the guy that's going to give you the best chance to win. And Carson wasn't doing that. So even though he was healthy at the time and they benched him, I felt like it was a legitimate decision, coming from a coach that wants to win football games and potentially save his job in the process. But, the whole debate of, well, Carson doesn't want to sit on the bench and let Jalen play, I understand that, but you also have to kind of look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, do I have what it takes to be an NFL quarterback? Do I have what it takes still to be productive, not only for the Eagles, but anywhere else if he decides to go somewhere?
Well, they got a lot of questions all the way at the top. They got to figure out who their coach is going to be.
Yeah, they got to start that first and then worry about the quarterback
and then
next.
go down to QB and the rest of the crew there. All right, let's take our timeout. We'll come back. Hour 2 on the way. We will talk to ECU Hall of Famer Sam Naren. He joins us on the other side to talk about, what's minor league baseball look like in 2021? What was 2020 like? And also the pitching and hitting camp coming up, the Down East Baseball pitching and catcher camp, I should say, coming up at North Pitt High School. We'll tell you the details on that as well. He is one of the lead instructors for that camp. Got that on the way on Pirate Radio Live Hour 2 coming up after this.
PR927FM.com is the Pirate Nation's home to stream Pirate Radio live or archived anytime.
Antoine Jackson, assistant coach for Joe Dooley. What's it been like for you to coach in a game with no fans in the stands?
It's weird. It's real weird. Before the season, you have these secret scrimmages.
Right. The secret scrimmages.
Yeah, they're not really secret.
Right.
Because everybody ends up finding out.
Yeah.
But it's basically a glorified secret scrimmage.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
PR927FM.com, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Blake Hardigree with ECU Baseball. I want to invite you to join our team on Saturday, February 13th, virtually for our 2021 Pirate Baseball Banquet. Our keynote speakers are former ECU players Alec Burleson and Bryant Packard. We will have an auction through the Handbid app starting at noon on Saturday, February 6th, and closing on Saturday, February 13th at 6 p.m. All proceeds from the banquet will go directly to ECU Baseball. Check ECU Baseball social media for the links and get your tickets today. We look forward to having you. Go Pirates!
We're midway through bath time, and 2 medium 2-topping Domino's pizzas for $5.99 each have begun their drive to the Smith's front door. That's a GPS-enabled custom delivery alert, folks. The newest improvement to the Domino's tracker, saying Domino's will be there in 2 minutes. They're calling it audible. Bath time's now rinse time. They've got 1 kid dry, 2 kids dry. The pizzas are here. They made it to the door. The kids are clean enough. The new Domino's tracker with GPS worked again.
2-item minimum. Pan pizza will be extra. Ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
Over 32 years ago, the Ronald McDonald House of Eastern North Carolina opened its doors as a place to help families stay together and close to the care they need when they have a sick child. With the addition of a second Ronald McDonald House inside the Maynard Children's Hospital, our need to serve is greater than ever as the medical community flourishes. Help us expand our mission of keeping families close as we grow to meet that need. You can show your support by making a donation to the Ronald McDonald House. Visit our website today at rmhenc.org for more information. Thank you for your support.
North Carolina state parks are now open for visitors. Parks should be used for exercise, fresh air, getting out in nature, or a day trip as the state safely reopens. Visitors should enjoy themselves, but please remember the 3 W's. Wear face coverings, wait 6 feet apart, and wash your hands often. Focus on moving through the park, keep social distancing in mind, and avoid large groups. While most facilities and activities will be open, please contact any state park before your visit with questions or visit ncparks.gov/open.
This is Stephen Igoe, publisher of HoistTheColors.net. Recruiting is the lifeblood of any college sports program, and no one devotes more coverage to the future of ECU athletics than Hoist the Colors. Want to know who's going to be the next Holton Ahlers or Jaden Gardner? We've got all the inside scoop on the Pirates' most talented recruits and top targets 24/7. Sign up now and get your first month of coverage for a single $1. HoistTheColors.net, the most reliable reporting on ECU athletics.
Did you know your small change can make a difference? The next time you visit McDonald's, please consider rounding up for the Ronald McDonald House. Your change adds up and can help many folks in Eastern North Carolina. Just $10 can provide a free night stay for families with sick children here in Eastern North Carolina and across the state. Just ask your cashier at checkout or choose to round up for RMHC when ordering through the McDonald's app. Thank you for visiting your local McDonald's owned by Dixon Foods and for your support of the Ronald McDonald House of Eastern North Carolina.
Hosting Pirate Radio Live from 3 to 6 every afternoon can get stressful. It's nice to relax sometimes, turn off the brain, and get some peace and quiet. Sure. Booty, booty, booty. Shirley, what are you doing?
Practicing.
Practicing? Practicing for what?
For the show.
We open up the booty bag every day. Why do you need to practice?
Because when it comes to the booty, I expect absolute perfection.
Perfecting the booty. Okay, well, tune in to Pirate Radio Live, 3 to 6 every day. We'll open up the booty bag and make you a winner right here on Pirate Radio, the station for winners.
And the booty.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. From sales to service, Greenville Auto World has all of your vehicle needs covered. Shop all of their inventory now at greenvilleautoworld.net. If you're also looking for someone to service your vehicle, Greenville Auto World has a full service and repair facility. Brakes, oil changes, tires, inspections, and they can repair any kind of vehicle. Greenville Auto World across from Speedway at Bells Fork and online at greenvilleautoworld.net. Thanks to Tim Sutton and Jim Rogers of Greenville Auto World for their sponsorship of the program. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Braun.
All right, back with you on Pirate Radio Live on a Tuesday, Hour 2 of today's program, and we will head out to the Fixed NC Live line and talked to him last year and have him on once again. He is ECU Hall of Famer Sam Naren joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. Sam, great to talk with you again. How you doing?
Doing fine. It's always a pleasure to be here, Clip.
And Sam, man, what a year 2020 was, and hopefully we'll have a lot more baseball in 2021. We'll talk to you about that, but want to first talk about the big 2021 Down East Pitcher and Catcher Camp coming up. Ryan Meadows joined us last week in studio, and what a list of names that are going to be instructing the kids this year at the camp. And Sam Naren, one of those headliners, he'll be a lead instructor when it comes to the pitchers. And Sam, that's going on January 30th, 31st, and ages grades 3 through 12. And you were a part of it last year. This will be the second annual, and going to be a big event coming up.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. From the information I've been getting from Ryan, there's going to be another great turnout. I think it's going to be over 100 kids willing to learn, and it's always a lot of fun to get out there and pass on the knowledge that you've accumulated over your years of playing baseball from some teammates and other great coaches that you've been around. So I really look forward to it every year. I know it was something that was done in the past, and it kind of it went away for a couple years, but Coach Meadows has done a wonderful job getting this thing put back together, and I, again, like I said, I look forward to it every year.
Sam, as a Hall of Fame pitcher at ECU, you go on, you play minor league baseball, then you get into coaching, and you coach all these minor league guys. When you're at camps like this and giving your insight to pitchers, you know, how much of it is here's the guidelines every pitcher needs to do, and how much of it is let me see what you got, and it's individualized? How do you kind of separate the overall guidelines that every pitcher needs to have, and then what each individual pitcher needs to do?
Well, that's a great point. There are some things that almost every pitcher does. I don't want to say every pitcher does these things, because that's not true. But there are some similarities that you see throughout pitching that you try to get these kids to get into these positions, and it allows them to be successful. But you really hit the nail on the head with the individuality, and that's something that we get more into in the afternoon part of Saturday, and really into the Sunday portion of the camp, where we get our hands on these smaller groups, and they get to throw the baseball around a little bit, and you see what they bring to the table, and you tailor those kind of tenets of pitching. You tailor them to what the kid is showing you that he can do, because sometimes a pitcher is not physically able to do what you want him to do, so you've got to be able to get around that and get the most out of the player a different way. So you try and give them the simplest form of what you want them to do, and then you go from there based off of what they can and cannot do.
We're talking to Sam Naren on the Fixed NC Live Line, the 2021 Downey's Pitcher and Catcher Camp. And as I said, some big names. Johnny Naren going to be involved as well. Howard McCullough. We had Clayton McCullough on the show, his son, not too long ago. Now the first base coach of the Dodgers. James Rabbit Fulgham, a legendary name around these parts. And Sam Naren, Jake Lowry, a couple of Pirates, Spencer Brickhouse, Evan Voliva, all the local high school coaches from the legendary RV, Ronald Vincent, Jason Mills, Corey Skinner, Eddie Losner. So it's going to be a great couple of days of baseball. And if you want to get your kid involved, downeastbaseball.org. You can contact downeastcamps@gmail.com for more information, and get your kids signed up, because as Sam said, had a great turnout last year, and going to be a great event coming up this year as well. Sam, catching up with what you're doing now, are you with the Harrisburg Senators as we speak?
Yes. If we have a minor league season, I will be in Harrisburg.
And there's the next, there's the caveat, right? Because it was wiped out in 2020, and it's such a shame, Sam, talking to most recently, I think it was Alec Burleson, who was drafted by the Cardinals organization out of ECU. But we've talked to so many minor league guys since last March, and I hate to ask it, but I have to ask it. You know, what's your next move? And they don't know. And I think you're the first coach I've talked to in minor league baseball. Is that answer the same for you? What's next for minor league baseball?
For me, I'm as of right now going to go to big league camp, which is scheduled to start on time when it normally would, the middle of February, and they're going to run big league camp like they typically would. I don't know if that means there's going to be fans in the stands for games, how they're really going to run it. Based off of, you look across the country, and based off of that, I would imagine it's going to be either limited fans or no fans, but we don't exactly know. And I still might not actually go to the big league spring based off of when they get there, how the numbers shake out, and they want to limit the number of people there, understandably because of the virus. But hopefully, I'll go. They'll run big league spring like they typically do. Once big league spring training is over at the end of March, beginning of April, then I think they'll bring the minor league players in May, and they'll run spring training for them. Or excuse me, they'll bring them in April, and then at the end of April, in May, maybe they'll break camp and go to their respective affiliates. But that's still up in the air. Nobody really knows. I don't know that they've even made minor league schedules yet. So there's a lot of hurdles to get over before minor league baseball gets playing in their cities.
Sam, how did you pass the time? How were you involved with baseball at all in 2020? What were you able to do baseball related, and what did you do outside of the baseball world without minor league baseball?
Well, this was the first time in my, I guess you could call me an adult, my adult life, that I spent a summer at home.
Yeah.
Since I was about, I guess after my sophomore season at East Carolina, I did not go play summer ball. That was the last time I did not play baseball in the summer. So I was 19. And I'm 39 now. So 20 years of not being at home in the summer. It was really nice. I got to spend a lot of family time with. I have a 5-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter. Getting to go to the pool and go to the beach with them, it was great. Spending time with my wife, who, God bless her, had to put up with me for an entire year, which she's never had to do. So that was wonderful. But from a baseball standpoint, we were like a lot of the schools. We did Zoom stuff. I had a group of pitchers that I was responsible for staying in contact with, and once a week we'd get on Zoom and have a nice conversation, either just to see how they're doing. A lot of times we brought up baseball topics. I had some of our what we call our coordinators, our catching coordinator, our pitching coordinator. I had some scouts get on to just try and engage them as best we could and give them any kind of baseball knowledge that I could think of that we could get through to them over Zoom. We did. It was challenging, but I think they got a lot out of it. Most of them were able to work out and get their throwing done, especially later on in the summer. There was a time early when COVID first really cranked up after spring training that some of these guys couldn't really go outside. So it was a trying year for everybody, but most of them got through it as best they could. I'll say that.
And Sam, you brought up a couple things there. I was going to ask you about how much you're in contact with guys right now in the minor league organization for the Nationals. You said last year you were, Zooming and giving out instructions and keeping in contact with them. Are you still currently doing that with guys, or do you kind of not know who are your guys right now within the organization? How's that work?
Well, again, we have a group of pitchers that we're responsible in the off season for. Mm-hmm. We'll call them periodically every couple weeks. This is their time to, relax. If nothing else, relax their mind from baseball, because once it starts in spring training, it's a grind. So you want them to have as much time to themselves to get ready and mentally and physically prepared for the season. But we want to make sure they're healthy and they're going about their business the right way. And like I said, you call them about every 2 weeks just to check in on them and see how they're doing. And if they have questions, I'll get videos occasionally from guys. The group that I'm involved with, some of them are even still playing. I've got one or two that are playing winter baseball, so they're actually getting a little playing in. So you don't get to talk to them quite as much because they're in the middle of a season. So, but you check in on them periodically to make sure they're doing well.
Sam, I'm a Braves fan, but Chandler, our producer, is a Nats fan. You got, the Braves have won 3 straight divisions. The Nats coming off a World Series a couple years ago. The Phillies get former Nat Bryce Harper. They stacked their roster. The Mets adding Lindor, and the Marlins are doing that thing where they bring up all these young guys and start winning games. They were a playoff team last year. How much do you keep up with what's happening at the major league level? This NL East, where the Nats are, of course, is a fascinating division with a ton of good teams.
I think it's going to be one of the, if not the most competitive divisions in baseball. We just signed a veteran in John Lester today. So you're looking at added rotation depth with us, Scherzer, Strasburg, Corbin. You throw John Lester in that mix, and Joe Ross coming back from the year of COVID. That's a pretty good rotation right there. And then as you mentioned, you look at that Braves rotation. I had the pleasure of watching all those guys come up. Max Fried, Soroka, Tuki Toussaint. Yeah. Those guys came through low A when I was in Hagerstown, so I got to watch them, unfortunately, blow it by us quite a bit. But, they are a really good team. They're young. The Phillies have done a great job building their team up, especially offensively. The Marlins are going to, they're young and super talented. So as soon as they start getting a little seasoning in them, they're going to be a tough out for anybody throughout the year as well. So it's going to be a fun season across the National League East. And, you could see, especially with, I think they're going to keep the expanded playoffs this year is what I heard. You could see another 3 teams come out of the National League East.
Yeah. And I guess, Sam, we're still waiting word on Universal DH. I don't think that's official yet, is it, for National League?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure it was not going to happen this year, but again, who knows? I think it was interesting for the fans, and as a purist, I like having the pitcher hit in the National League. I think it provides a lot of strategy for the managers and the fans to think along with the game, but so I don't know if it is official.
You're speaking, you say, as a purist and also as a coach. How about as a player, Sam? Did you want to get up there and see what you could do with a bat?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I don't remember much about pitching as a player, but I hit 2 home runs. I'll tell you that right now.
There you go. You know those numbers right off the top of your head.
That's right.
Sam, go ahead. We got Sam Naren here on the Fix and See Live Line. Sam, the polls are starting to come out in college baseball, ECU, and all of those polls, of course. And how proud are you of your old university, what Cliff Godwin's doing right now with this program, just reeling off win after win, getting in regionals, super regionals, and are, of course, a preseason top 25, top 20 team?
Well, you look at the way they go about it, and accolades are great, and I'm sure Cliff will be the first to tell you this, but the way they go about it, academically, they're one of the best teams in the country, and then they've got great kids that work hard, and that's the important part. And then you throw on the talent that they bring to the ballpark day in and day out, and that's where you get it. It's built from the off-field stuff in the weight room and in the classroom. And Cliff was, he was an academic All-American himself, so he knew going in how important that stuff was, and he has set that foundation in his players. And you see it come out again, not just on the field, but off. And it's a testament to him how consistent that team is. And you just know it's only a matter of time before they break that super regional wall and get into the College World Series. And I'm really looking forward to that because it's going to come sooner than later, no doubt.
Yeah, we all know that day is coming. Sam Naren joining us, and Naren, a legendary name in baseball, Sam, and I'm sure you knew at a young age that baseball is what you wanted to do. If you weren't a baseball lifer, if you weren't coaching right now, what would you be doing? Have you ever thought of that? Did you have a backup plan?
Well, I'm a biology major. I got my degree in biology with a minor in chemistry, so I'm really using that right now. But my plan was to go into pharmacy in the research side of it. Had baseball not, taken over. But I've been fortunate throughout my life to really have never worked a day in my life. So I've been blessed with that, and I don't know what I would do without baseball at this point.
Sam, before we let you go, 2021 Downey's Pitcher and Catcher Camp coming up January 30th and 31st, and you can register at downeysbaseball.org. Sam is the lead instructor for the pitchers. And Sam, for kids that are going to come out and be at this camp, what are the overall things you want to pass along to these guys coming up on January 30th and 31st?
Well, have your ears open as a camper, because you're going to hear a lot of great information. Be willing to learn, be willing to listen. Some of those names that you mentioned, I had the good fortune of hearing growing up. Coach Fulgham, Coach Losner was at East Carolina when I was there. Howard McCullough. I mean, the names just keep going on and on of baseball knowledge that's going to be there. So make sure as a camper you got your ears open and are ready to learn.
Sam, thank you so much for joining us, man. Great to catch up with you, and have fun at the camp coming up later this month, and we'll talk to you again down the road.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. There's Sam Naren joining us on the Fixed NC Live line, and hopefully Sam can get in some coaching here, some minor league baseball coaching in 2021, but everything kind of still up in the air when it comes to minor league baseball. He will be doing some instructing later this month at North Pitt High School at the 2021 Down East Pitcher and Catcher Camp. And heard Sam there, finally had a summer off to hang out at home and be with the wife, the kids, and also watch some Major League Baseball, Chandler. And you kind of perked up there when he's talking about the Nats, and they had John Lester. And you're pretty excited about that rotation, I know, for this year.
Yeah, Sam, pitching coach in their minor league system. What a job, especially in that franchise who has great pitchers like Max Scherzer and Patrick Corbin, and now they add the veteran John Lester. So, and I'm sure he's coaching guys that can maybe make their way up into the big leagues one day and make their name, just like Max Scherzer and those guys that I just mentioned. So, who is it that he's the coach for?
He's with Harrisburg.
Okay, the Senators.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool. And 1 year deal for John Lester today, signing with the Nats.
37 years old, I believe he is now. Old veteran. So
that makes the second Cub that we have signed in the last week and a half.
Also got Kyle Schwarber, also a national now. So he's right. That division is just incredible. And
it continues to grow and get better.
I mean, the Marlins were a playoff team in 2020.
Right.
The facts are facts. Nationals won the World Series in 19. Braves have won 3 straight divisions. That doesn't include the teams that Bryce Harper and Francisco Lindor play for. So, it's top to bottom, the best division, I think, in baseball. All right, let's take a timeout. We will come back. We'll talk a little Deshaun Watson and Panthers.
I've got my answer. I'm just going to go ahead and let you know that as I've been thinking, my outlook on all this has changed.
Interesting.
And I'll let you know about it on the other side.
All right. We will have Chandler talking about Deshaun Watson. And as a Panthers fan, what would he give up? What wouldn't he give up? Would he like Watson on the roster? We'll talk about that and more. Stephen Igoe joining us later this hour on Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
Do you think you or your employees might have been exposed to COVID-19? ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers easy employer solutions to COVID-19 testing. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com.
Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
You know, texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Jeff Gibson with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
Pirate fans always win big at Quality Equipment, and now you can win even bigger during their Green Wave clearance. Catch the wave of clearance savings done right on John Deere compact tractors, Gator utility vehicles, riding mowers, commercial mowers, and even mower attachments. Quantities are limited and everything is priced to move, so don't wait. Quality Equipment wants you to get the John Deere that will help you dominate your home turf. Check out the latest Green Wave clearance savings at qualityequip.com/greenwave.
Medicare is not one size fits all, but which plan is right for you? Hi, I'm Denise Walker, and I'm a licensed insurance agent here in North Carolina. Whether you are turning 65, new to Medicare, or already have a plan, I can help you compare your Medicare options. I can help you find a plan offering low to no monthly premiums, prescription drug coverage, and a wide range of additional benefits like dental, hearing, vision, and more. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
Hey, welcome to Jack Brown's. What can I get you?
Can I get a vodka soda with a lime, please?
No liquor, just beer. We have beer out the wazoo.
And we don't even know what a wazoo is.
IPAs, sours, gozas, wheats, stouts, porters, you name it, we got it.
Drink 100 beers and join the Notch Club. Don't be a nerd. Ask about the Notch Club.
Yeah, we've got the best craft beer in Greenville.
Awesome. I'll take a pack to us light.
You got it, on the way.
Jack Brown's Beer and Burger Joint, located at 805 Dickinson Avenue, right in the heart of Uptown Greenville.
Here today with Silverback, also known as Mark James to his friends and family. Why do you come to F3?
I came to F3 for the fitness, no doubt, like most guys. And what surprised me about F3 is I really stayed for the friendships. The guys that I've met here, I didn't know 2 years ago, and I really consider my best friends now. If I need anything, it wouldn't surprise me one bit that either one of these guys would step up to be there for whatever's needed.
One letter, one number, F3. Learn more today at f3enc.com.
If you missed Pirate Radio Live, you missed.
Which I did see online. It was interesting. Someone put...
It was interesting.
that actually Tennessee doesn't have to pay their coaches anyway when they get fired because they're volunteers.
Boom.
Because they're volunteers. Chandler, that's a rim shot right there. Because they're volunteers. All right, we need you to wait. There we go. Hey,
volunteers.
There you go, Chandler.
Pirate Radio Live, weekdays from 3 to 6, right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
This is Bryant Packard, ECU former baseballer. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Have you heard the news? American Airlines is back and has resumed service to Pitt Greenville Airport. Reservations are available now at aa.com. Whether you're flying for business or for pleasure, enjoy the friendly convenience of flying from your local airport to get you where you're going and then back home again safely. For your next trip, remember American Airlines is back at PGV and you can book today at aa.com. Pitt Greenville Airport, where the Pirates fly. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, welcome back. Hour 2, Pirate Radio Live. Great to talk to Sam Naren a moment ago. If you missed it, check it out on Facebook Live or YouTube later. Also, pr927fm.com, where our shows are archived. Chandler just heard Shirley's new promo for the first time, where he was late on a rim shot. And Chandler, how are you handling the hazing there? You okay? Seems okay. All right.
No, he gave me this look, and I said, "What? I got to make promos."
It's all part of the show, Chandler. It's all part of the deal. All right, Chandler is a Panthers fan. Earlier today, I saw a tweet where you can bet on anything. It's just a matter of the sports book you bet with. Do they carry the prop or the game?
You can bet on how long Joe Biden's inauguration speech will be tomorrow. I saw that today.
Really?
Yeah.
The over-under on that. We'll get into Wager McGee likes to do those political prop bets. He'll join us on Wednesday. I saw where the Jets were the odds-on favorite to land Deshaun Watson. Then I saw Chandler retweet this, that betonline.ag had Deshaun Watson's next team, and you could bet on it. The Carolina Panthers, the favorite at plus 600, followed by the Dolphins, Falcons, and Jets, and some other teams up there as well. And, it's got a lot of Panthers fans kind of thinking and talking about what that would be like if they could land Deshaun Watson. More importantly, what do you give up? Also, we probably should add that from everything I see from like Schefter and Pro Football Talk, it sounds like that the Texans don't want to get rid of Deshaun Watson. Like, they're not calling teams saying, hey, we want to trade Deshaun Watson. This is Watson kind of being upset with the situation there. Also, I want to point out that Deshaun Watson is not a malcontent, and if you polled the Clemson audience of his approval rating, I would say he'd be at a 99% approval. Texans fans like him. Not to go Cy Seymour, but he's a good kid, Chandler.
He's a good kid.
He's a good kid. But and then even J.J. Watt going off the field the last week when they had him mic'd up said, "I'm sorry, we wasted."
Apologizing.
Yeah, we wasted a year of your pro football life. So that's kind of the thought that like Watson is not the problem.
Maybe
in Houston.
Maybe J.J. knows of Watson's frustration in Houston. Maybe that was please stay. Sorry about that. We can make it better.
Yeah. But they have issues at the front office. There's a fascinating Sports Illustrated article on the Jack Easterby, I guess his name is, that guy, and how he's kind of taking over the reins, pulling the strings there in the Texans organization. But anyway, Deshaun Watson, if teams are going to go out and get him, maybe the Panthers could be that team. So, Chandler, I guess the first question is, are you willing to part ways with one Christian McCaffrey to land Deshaun Watson?
Well, I mean, that's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about giving up somebody. You're going to give up that star running back, Christian McCaffrey.
Up draft picks, but you would think you're going to have to throw some
It's going to take a little more than that, I think. Yeah. I think it's going to take getting rid of Christian McCaffrey. Now, when I first found out that, Carolina was in the talks of getting Deshaun Watson, my thoughts were, what can we do to offer everything but Christian McCaffrey? Will it be the next 3 first-round picks that we have? I saw the next 3 first-round picks and Teddy Bridgewater. They're not going to want Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know anybody that would want Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
But
kind of thinks that he didn't play better this year, and you would have some draft capital or some trade capital with Teddy Bridgewater.
Right, but now the more I have changed my outlook on this, the quarterback position is the most important position on a football team, whether it's high school, college, or NFL. When you have the opportunity to get that franchise quarterback, and everybody knows, it's evident that the Panthers' quarterback situation is in shambles right now. They are desperate for that franchise quarterback, and then right now, it doesn't look like that we can get there in the draft, sitting at 8. So when that opportunity arises, Scott Federer, who was just hired on Friday, already has an opportunity to make a franchise changing move 1 week, not even 1 week into the job. But
David Tepper has not been there long as owner. He has a chance to make a splash here,
and he's a go-to. He's like a go-getter.
Right.
He's known to be a go-getter, and we found something out in Carolina this year, and it's that Christian McCaffrey's human. He's able to miss games. In the first 2 years of his career in Carolina, he hardly missed any games. If not, I don't think he missed any games. Yeah. 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving a year ago. But we found out this year that he is able to get hurt and he's able to miss games. And I hate to speculate this, but going forward, will Christian McCaffrey be a guy that can he stay healthy? A guy that I think about in this situation is Cam Newton. His first 4 or 5 years in Carolina, we depended on him not just throwing the football, but also running the football, and he took major hits left and right all the time, and somehow he just never got hurt. A few years ago, he took the shot from T.J. Watt, and it kind of ruined his throwing abilities. Then he got hurt with his foot against the Patriots in the preseason in 2018, and you see how that has gone with Cam Newton. 5 touchdowns, 12 interceptions for the Patriots this year. So I think now looking at it, I think giving up Christian McCaffrey. Now look, I hope Christian McCaffrey succeeds in the future, whether it's with us or whether it's with somebody else. But the opportunity is there, and I think Scott Federer really needs to go out and do what it takes to get Deshaun Watson, to get that franchise quarterback, bring him back to the Carolinas where he started his college career. In fact, there's a picture out there that you could see of him and Cam Newton when the Panthers were in their playoff run, their Super Bowl run back in 2015, 2016. So go get him. And I think it takes giving up Christian McCaffrey, and I think it needs to happen.
You're willing to do that if the deal is made at this point?
Yes.
You okay? And
here's the thing too. Joe Brady's more than likely going to be back in the booth for the Carolina Panthers.
Wow.
Can you imagine Joe Brady and Deshaun Watson? Now, I don't want to kind of jump the gun here, but now that Joe Brady-Joe Burrow connection was a sight to see. Can that be similar? Can that connection be similar with Deshaun Watson?
Now, you got to think you're giving up a lot, though, and you're still going to have DJ Moore, Robbie. Are you deciding between Robbie Anderson and Curtis Samuel basically at this point?
Yeah, and I think it's going to be Curtis Samuel. I think we're going to bring Robbie Anderson back, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
But now, not only just will you have potentially Robbie Anderson back, you also got a deep threat in DJ Moore.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we can get some tight end help. Ian Thomas, who has been kind of like the fill-in role for Greg Olsen since he's been absent, I think has a lot more room to develop. But what I'm thinking of right now is that I'm assuming, and we know what assuming does to people, but I'm assuming that Joe Brady will be back as the offensive coordinator for Carolina next year, and I think him and Deshaun Watson would be a great match for Carolina.
So Chandler is on board.
I'm on board. I'm totally on board.
You've done your research. You've given it a lot of thought.
And we can talk more about this with Tony on Friday.
I'm sure we will.
And get his thoughts. But right now, I'm all about doing what it takes to get that franchise quarterback, because God knows that we need it in Carolina.
I saw a mock earlier this week that had the Panthers trading up to get Zach Wilson.
At 4?
It was in the middle of the 4 or 5, something like, I can't remember exactly where. But, look, again, Deshaun Watson, it's not like Houston is trying to get rid of him right now. So,
of course not.
He might be a Texan next year.
But it doesn't help that when he's not happy. I mean, it's just like if you have a girlfriend, you want her to stay, but if she's not happy, you just need to let her go.
And you get a whole lot in return.
Not really.
Yeah, this is not like that. But if you and we got plenty of time to talk draft too. But quarterback is number one on the list right now.
Absolutely.
For you and for Panthers fans.
Yeah, I mean we need that franchise quarterback, and we do not have it right now. And maybe one of the reasons why Marty Hurney was fired from Carolina was the deal that he made with Teddy Bridgewater, bringing him in here for 3 years, $60 million, and he showed this year that he is not the guy that's going to get you wins. He's not going to get you championships. I'm sure there's way more on the list of why Marty Hurney was fired for the second time in Carolina. But what are your thoughts on my take? Do you think that's reasonable, or do you think...
Yeah, I think that if you have an opportunity to get Watson, you do it. And if... I really... That's why I brought up the Chase Young thing. Like, there's a scenario where I would trade Chase Young to get Deshaun Watson.
But at the same time, I would... Chase Young, I mean, it's like we've said, once you take him away from that defensive line... how damaging will that be just with his absence from that defensive line?
Well, J.J. Watt has been with the Texans. How much have they won with their,
True.
I don't.
But do you get what I'm saying with Christian McCaffrey's injuries this
Absolutely.
year? It just kind of is uncertain of how his future will be health-wise. Can he stay healthy? That scares me because we saw it with Cam Newton. Because with Cam, he had an MVP year, and then now you see him. You look at him now and you go, oh, well, he was a Heisman Trophy winner. He was number 1 overall. He was the MVP in the league. I mean, I hope that his career doesn't falter after this year. But, it wasn't big injuries that he had. He had a quad, I think, a hamstring this year. But it just worries me.
I don't look at him as injury prone moving forward. I think he'll be. The problem is the Panthers give him 50 touches a game and say, hey, go win us this ball game. Well, so he's going to get hurt.
We did the same with Cam.
Yeah. And you're going to do the same with Watson.
Probably.
Redbeard said, didn't Watson blow out his knee in the NFL before?
Deshaun Watson has a history of injuries, especially the ACL tear that he had. I'm not sure when. Probably, 2-3 years ago.
I've never seen this before. I Googled Deshaun Watson injury. There's a sports injury predictor. Igoe, you ever been to sportsinjurypredictor.com? It's a great website. Chance of injury in 2021 for Deshaun Watson has chances 30%, Chandler.
I'll take those chances.
Chance of injury per game, 2.2%. Projected games missed for 2021, Deshaun Watson, 1.8%. Or 1.8 game.
Who keeps up with those numbers?
I don't know. I don't know how this is predicted. And it's also got like a body map, and it's got like his he's got a 3 on his knee here.
Somebody has way too much time on their hands.
2017 ACL tear grade 3 in 2017. What is this? Ribs, back, lower lumbar sprain 2019. It's got his injuries. Fractured finger 2014, and then a shoulder clavicle fracture 2014. There's his injury history. It's crazy.
Screw that. I don't care. Let's go get Deshaun Watson.
All right.
If it means giving up Christian McCaffrey, so be it. Scott Federer, make it happen. Set the bar. Show us that you've got the stones.
The bar. Put the ball down.
And pick up the phone.
Ball down, phone up, set bar.
I like it.
All right. Second time out. We'll come back. Is Stephen Igoe, does he have a Broncos package prepared for Deshaun Watson?
The Broncos were on that list.
I'm going to just do this with every guest I have this week. Whoever your NFL team is, put together your package for Deshaun Watson.
Ask Shirley Rhodes. Look, that list, the Miami Dolphins were behind the Panthers with a plus 650 chance of getting Deshaun Watson.
And they have an obvious guy they could trade in the deal, Tua, who's a young quarterback.
Yeah.
Who teams could want at this point. All right, Stephen Igoe joins us next on Pirate Radio Live. We're back after this.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
Anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those, but anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
Greenville Utilities customers will notice some big changes online. GUC has upgraded their website again to make it even easier for customers to view, understand, and manage their account. Customers can now schedule payments and securely save their bank account or debit and credit card information. They can also create custom alerts, set up automatic drafts, and enroll in budget billing all online. If you're not already managing your account online, now's a great time to do it. Check out the new system today at GUC.com.
Did you know time spent outdoors can help improve your children's health and bring balance to their life? The Outdoor Heritage Advisory Council invites you to join the Patch program. This program is for any child under the age of 16 and includes activities like fishing, hunting, and hiking. These are just one of the many ways you can earn the exclusive patches from the Outdoor Heritage Council. For more information on how to sign up and get your adventure started, visit outdoorheritage.nc.gov.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is where the fiesta never ends.
Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Wednesday for shrimp tacos for only $9.99.
Plus, Wednesdays means all Mexican imports for only $2.50. Thursdays, enjoy your favorite beef, chicken, or shrimp fajitas for one for only $9.99. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Find new roads with Chevrolet. Then come find yours at Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
PR927FM.com is the Pirate Nation's home to stream Pirate Radio live or archived anytime.
Antoine Jackson, assistant coach for Joe Dooley. Let's start with the big guy, Jaden Gardner, because his numbers aren't as good as in the American, and teams are really, clamping down on Jaden, aren't they?
Yes, they are. That's what comes with being a great player and the best player on the team and a focal point. You're going to be the top of your opponent's scouting report. And it's just something you got to know, you got to deal with, and you got to adjust to that.
PR927FM.com, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
This is Big John Williams, strength and conditioning coach for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The Pirate Radio podcast is back at 6 o'clock tonight as Ellerby and special co-host Eddie Losner goes one-on-one with Eric Legrand. Eric was paralyzed over a decade ago in a Rutgers football game and has gone on to be an inspiration of hope and positivity to people all over the world. You can tune in tonight to the Pirate Radio podcast coming up at 6 o'clock on 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 FM in Washington, and, of course, online at PR927FM.com. You can also subscribe to our podcast in your Apple Store. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live, and Clip, I just saw a tweet come up by Golf Digest that Tiger Woods has announced he is out indefinitely after undergoing a 5th back surgery. So he will not be participating in golf events anytime soon.
We'll have to bring that up with Greeny from the Golf Shop Radio Show when we talk to him later this week. I watched the Tiger Woods documentary, which again is basically, hey, look who Tiger Woods banged. It was very salacious. It was not what I was expecting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty much HBO, right?
I guess so. It was like Game of Thrones. A lot of nudity. Actually, there was no nudity, but it was not a ton of golf, I guess. Have you watched part 2 yet, Chandler? We were talking about it yesterday.
No, but I've heard it's sexually explicit.
Yes, it is. All right. Stephen Igoe joins us here in the Pirate Radio studios. Shirley, today, he's looking like Coach Igoe. He's got the gym shorts.
These are legit hand-me-down, or this is a legit hand-me-down coach's practice shirt.
From a previous
coach,
staff member?
Okay. You look like a young Rick Smith.
It was not Rick Smith who gave me this, but I did see him wear this at least once or twice.
What would Rick Smith sound like promoting Hoist the Colors?
Subscribe. I'm not big on internet stuff, but
I'm not big on the stars, but...
And I got frustrated one time. I wanted to read an article, and it said VIP. I said, what's this mean? And I found out I had to pay for it. And I said, screw this. I was in coaching for 50 years. I just said, screw this.
Chandler has been around Rick Smith a lot.
Pretty good.
This football season. Chandler, I can't believe you didn't say anything about the pop-up videos.
Oh.
I'm trying to get one to pop up
Hell,
now.
I already get so damn mad at the ads on TV. I got to see them on my computer, too. And they're the worst on that Hoist the Colors. Look at that right there. That's just insane.
For the record, Clip had to turn his volume up and then turn the volume on the ad up.
All right, some good stuff on Hoist the Colors. I saw, and I read. I like to read Hoist the Colors while I'm eating lunch.
Well, thanks.
I like to read while I eat lunch.
Thanks.
And I go through HTC every day. And I was like, all right, Igoe tweeted something yesterday or a couple days ago, and it was an article, and I wanted to read it, and I remembered what it was. It was where recent ECU transfers and decommits have ended up. And I got to tell you, it was a like nothing earth-shattering as far as where former guys landed and production they're putting up. A lot of guys, and I guess this is still kind of recent in a lot of guys' careers, right? They still have an opportunity to do something, but it's not like these guys have made a huge splash at their next stop.
No, I mean, so this was from basically since Mike Houston took the job in December 2018 through the start of this season. So guys that have transferred during 2020, like Tank Robinson, Robert Kennedy, there's a couple like Darius Penix. I did not include them because they haven't even really arrived at the place they're going. So this was more what's happened in the last 2 years, decommitments and transfers. There was a little over 20. So basically just the attrition from the program and guys who have decommitted, notable entries in that realm. And, I mean, it's amazing to see the amount of guys that just kind of ended up at D2 or on a FCS roster but didn't maintain their roster status and now are nowhere to be heard from, and really a lot of Scotty Montgomery's recruits in particular ended up at Division II or FCS programs and really haven't done much. And when Coach Houston first came in, there were about 10 decommitments total from the leftover class, and they only brought back about 2 or 3 of those guys. And a lot of the other ones, they after watching their film, were just like, we don't really love this guy's film. We'll just let him go elsewhere. Now, if you look at Mike Houston's first full class last year, the 2020 class, the 3 guys that decommitted from that class actually end up at good programs. Jakari Caldwell went to South Carolina. Sean Brown went to Coastal Carolina. And Dwayne Martin went to Louisville as far as decommitments. So it kind of shows that, to me, Coach Houston's staff has evaluated talent at a pretty high level, whereas I think Scotty Montgomery's talent evaluation over time has proven out to be pretty spotty.
If you could bring one of these guys back in your article, who would it be? Or not even back if they decommitted.
Yeah, I mean,
they never were here to start with.
Probably Jakari Caldwell. He was a 4-star recruit, and he's got big upside. Now he was raw, so again, he's only played 1 year at South Carolina as a reserve. He had 1 catch for 5 yards. So. Which, a lot of these true freshmen just haven't had a huge impact, but he would be the one guy I'd bring back. I mean, really a lot of Scotty's recruits haven't done much. Now, there's a couple kids at Middle Tennessee State that I did like DJ Chisholm is at Middle Tennessee State, and he was a recruit I liked from Scotty's class, 5'7", speedy kid out of South Carolina, and he's had 20 or 30 catches for 300, 400 yards and 3 touchdowns the last 2 years. So I think they could use his speed. But outside of that, maybe Darius Williams, the defensive end, who ended up at middle. Those are really the only guys.
Yeah, and some of these guys made plays for the Pirates. I mean, Leroy Henley kind of looks like a what could have been. Daniel Charles.
His was injuries. Some of these guys were disgruntled.
Daniel Charles, off the field.
Exactly, versus like other guys, just injuries or playing time.
Madrion Vines, he was the starter going into the season opener against NC State and had like a drop or two and kind of fell off the depth chart.
Yeah, it had a few drops, got passed by CJ and Omatosho, and then by the end of the season just wasn't playing as much as he wanted to. And I think with 1 or 2 years of eligibility left, he wanted to go elsewhere. And that was the one that it sounded like went back and forth, and he just ultimately opted to go elsewhere to get some more playing time.
Interesting article there on Hoist the Colors. You can find that. We will, coming up at 5 o'clock, talk about the John Gilbert situation. What is Igoe hearing as far as Tennessee's interest in John Gilbert? We'll do that when we return from our next break. Igoe has a story. Baseball workouts. Interesting. Deontay Smith. We can talk about that real quick. Yeah. Deontay down at the Senior Bowl. So I guess the Panthers are going to have a good look at Deontay Smith as he's out there. And I believe I read, Igoe, he has been able to put on some weight.
Yeah, the guy who posted it, I think Dane Brugler from CBS Sports, he said he's up to 305, which is a good weight for Deontay. Important that he gets up to that level, in my opinion, and maintains his athleticism. And, if he's truly at 305 and he's jumping like he did in that video, that's going to open a lot of scouts' eyes because that shows explosiveness, athleticism. He doesn't have the best height in the world, but he's got really good feet, long arms. His 2019 film was pretty solid, so I think if he continues on this progression and works out well, he's a guy that definitely could get drafted, which I was looking at today. ECU has not had an offensive lineman drafted in 15 years.
Guy Wimper?
I think so, in 06. I needed to look at the list again, but I believe it was Guy Wimper.
Okay. That would be my first guess off the top of my head.
You've had a couple guys sign, like Willie Smith.
Guy Wimper was drafted in the 4th round.
In 06?
Yep.
So he was the last one.
All right, there you go.
Last offensive lineman drafted. You've had Willie Smith who signed and played a number of years.
Garrett McGinn's played.
And a couple other guys have signed. But, you want to start winning some recruiting battles on the offensive line. At some point you got to start putting some guys in the league that you can showcase. So, things didn't work out for Deontay as a senior here, but I really hope he gets drafted and does well at the next level because it would help ECU in a big way.
All right, Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors here, hanging out. Hour 3 coming up, and we'll talk about the John Gilbert situation and more when we return on Pirate Radio Live on a Tuesday. Back with you after this.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Blake Hardigree with ECU Baseball. I want to invite you to join our team on Saturday, February 13th virtually for our 2021 Pirate Baseball Banquet. Our keynote speakers are former ECU players Alec Burleson and Bryant Packard. We will have an auction through the Handbid app starting at noon on Saturday, February 6th and closing on Saturday, February 13th at 6 p.m. All proceeds from the banquet will go directly to ECU Baseball. Check ECU Baseball social media for the links and get your tickets today. We look forward to having you. Go Pirates!
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. Sometimes you pick up a book and you can't put it down. I'll tell you all about a great read next.
If you missed Pirate Radio Live, you missed.
How long can we say Happy New Year till again?
Jake Verity. Jake, welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm good. I appreciate that. How are you guys doing?
Good. Jake, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Jake.
It's not too late to say it yet. We'll keep in touch and do it again down the road, man.
I appreciate you guys. And one more thing. Happy New Year to you.
Pirate Radio Live, weekdays from 3 to 6, right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
When I get started reading a book, I stay with it cover to cover in just a few hours' time. Such was the case with a book entitled My Life in Wrestling, the story of professional wrestling announcer Jim Ross. From humble beginnings at Oklahoma to national television, his is a story of perseverance, overcoming personal tragedies in a crazy profession with crazy people at wrestling. JR, as he's known, one with a big black cowboy hat that he wears, which Vince McMahon suggested he don on television, has been a survivor. 3 marriages. His last wife, Jan, died in a tragic motor scooter accident. A bout with Bell's palsy, which has disfigured his face. And then there are the ups and downs of his professional life. He's a good man. Character and integrity means something to this Oklahoma Sooner in a world in which it can be sadly lacking. And by the way, if you tried old JR's barbecue sauce, he's still going strong at age 68, now with AEW on TNT every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit inside the booth.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
Got big dreams for your small business? You're not alone. The Gavigan Agency Insurance Services is a growing business too. That's why they work with Nationwide, the #1 small total business insurer in the U.S. Nationwide can help protect and grow your business so you can focus on making your small business dreams come true. Give the Gavigan Agency Insurance Services a call today at 252-756-1400. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio. Subject to underwriting guidelines, review, and approval.
Championship Sunday is on Pirate Radio.
Brady takes the snap, dives straight ahead, and he is in for the Tampa Bay touchdown. Tom Brady with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Shotgun snap. There's a 4-man rush and a line drive throw caught by Kelsey at the 10 on the hash mark to 5. Hurdles a defender, goes to the goal line. Touchdown!
Tune in Sunday for Bucks Packers and Bills Chiefs right here on Pirate Radio, your radio home for the NFL playoffs.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Quality Equipment is your full-service John Deere dealer with 27 locations to serve you. Quality Equipment is open in Winterville next to Sam's Club, or visit QualityEquip.com to find the location near you. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rod.
All right, Shirley, we got to open up the booty bag at some point this hour. Yesterday, we handed out a large 2-topping pizza to Domino's. What are we giving away today?
Why don't we do... the decisions I have to make.
Ooh, sounds like a really tough one. Ooh.
Let's do a $10 gift card to Villa Verde Dos.
All right, Villa Verde Dos. Chandler's new Friday ritual is going to Villa Verde Dos and picking up a bowl, going the salad route, the healthy route. And,
you did a salad last time? Oh, okay.
And looked tasty.
I did a rotisserie chicken build your bowl thing the last time I went.
Man,
and that was really good.
All right, we'll let you do that for free if you are our winner later on in the booty bag. Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors, is here. Igoe, John Gilbert is ECU's athletic director.
He's the athletic director, yes.
ECU's athletic director is John Gilbert. Yes. Tennessee is without an AD because Philip Fulmer is retiring. They fired their football coach, Jeremy Pruitt. It was a big Monday in Rocky Top. John Gilbert's name, he has connections there. It's out there. I went to the Tennessean.com, their newspaper, and there was several articles I could read about how bad Jeremy Pruitt was and how this is another epic fail for Tennessee. But I had to be a subscriber to read the article about top candidates for the Tennessee job, but the picture accompanying accompanying
Accompanying?
Accompanying. All right.
It could be a total goat rodeo.
Okay, accompanying.
A
burger.
It's hard, right? Admit it.
When you think about it.
Can one of y'all say it? Accompanying.
Accompanying.
No.
I
That sounded about the best, to be honest. Shirley?
Accompanying.
Okay, the sentence is what now?
The picture that is blank this story.
Accompanying.
That sounded pretty good.
Yeah. Accompanying.
Accompanying. That sounds very foreign.
Accompanying.
It's very hard to say.
Accompanying.
Think about it. That's when you have problems.
I wonder if I could YouTube it.
The picture that is next to the story.
I know, but I really want to say this word, or I want you all to be dumb like me.
A burglary.
Thank you, B. Pace. The picture along with the story, Igoe, is John Gilbert. I find that interesting. Is that interesting?
Yeah, but what's more interesting is how to pronounce this word. I need to hear this.
If you Google it, if you Google the word, it has a little sound thing. You can click on the little sound thing, and it actually.
I'm trying to pull that up, but my internet's just.
Accompanying.
Accompanying.
Accompanying means.
God, that is a difficult word to say. And don't act like it's not out there, because we just went around the whole room.
Where on earth what website did you go to?
YouTube.com.
Because that sounded a whole lot like someone who does not, that English is not their natural language.
Accompanying. All right, well, here's another one. Hold on.
Accompanying.
That's what accompanying.
Accompanying.
There's a little ying at the end.
Yeah, accompanying. I guess I'll just avoid saying it because I can't get it.
Accompanying.
That was good. Yeah. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was good. All right. What were we talking about? John Gilbert, his photo is beside that story, Steve.
That's because John Gilbert is involved with the Tennessee athletic director search. And
do you know how long that list is right now?
I don't. I mean, the Tennessee site on 24/7 Sports has already reported that Tennessee's reached out to John Gilbert, which isn't a surprise, mainly because Gilbert has great connections there. And if you look at it closely, and you know that his background is tied with Rick Barnes, the head men's basketball coach there. Both of those guys are Lenore Ryan guys. They have a close connection. His son is a walk-on the men's basketball team. His daughter is a student at Tennessee as well. So, I mean, there's just all sorts of connections. Like, from the get-go, it would be a shock if he wasn't at least approached, discussed. You know, if they want to move fast, John Gilbert makes the most sense. Now, if he's getting a courtesy look or whatever because he knows Rick Barnes and he's going to get a look at least to begin with, then that makes sense too. If they want to, hire somebody who has made like a big time hire or has more of a proven track record as an AD.
Yeah, because I would say Gilbert's resume is not that flashy at this point in his career. It just hasn't been around long.
He was only the AD at Southern Miss a year. Yeah. He's been here, a couple of years now. I think he's, done a good job cleaning up a very difficult mess. But what hire can you point to and say this hire, it was a home run that he hit as an AD? I don't know exactly who he hired at Southern Miss, and if Mike Houston had more wins already in his first 2 years at ECU, then they could point to that. But
it's just it's early in the process of his career, of Houston's career, of all.
It's nothing against John Gilbert. It's just from a Tennessee fan's perspective and reading their board.
Exactly.
They look at it as, all right, if John Gilbert gets the job, that's cool. Like, we trust Rick Barnes, basically, who's going to have some pull. I mean, at this point, who is bigger in Tennessee athletics than Rick Barnes.
Currently, I guess nobody.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier in the show, they have one loss. They're top 10. I did see a headline that said Peyton Manning was going to be.
Yeah, I saw that.
At least a consultant, I guess.
Involved in the football search.
Yeah.
So
it could be somebody associated with Peyton Manning that's not associated with Tennessee.
So I think there's a lot of moving parts there. I mean, a lot of their fans want to look at the UAB athletic director, who's a Tennessee grad. Again, I don't know who they're looking at. I just know it seems like John Gilbert's definitely involved. I don't know, and if they're looking to move quickly, Gilbert makes a lot of sense because he's got extensive ties there. But we'll see. I think John's a stand-up guy. He's done great things for ECU already. If he were to somehow get offered the job, I think he has to take it. I mean, it's just more money, better situation. I know they're in a mess right now, but you can't turn down that job.
All right, Stephen Igoe, Clip Rock here, Pirate Radio Live. Mike, as a PA announcer, I like things broken down phonetically, and Mike may have done it here in Facebook Live. He's got a cup o' kneeing. No, that's not it.
No.
It would be more like
there's a comp.
Accompanying.
Yeah.
Accompanying. 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 I think
accompanying.
Accompanying. I can't get that little part like 3/4 of the way through. Right. Now Shirley's on the phone. We'll never get this. All right, Mike, good try there. Accompanying. That is very close.
She's on the phone with a pronouncing expert.
Yeah, right. All right, so I don't know. Go to Hoist the Colors if you want to get into the if Gilbert's gone.
Yeah, I've already.
Is it too early for that? At least on this show.
I mean,
I think for message board it's fair game.
Yeah, for message board it's already gone. We've already gone down the rabbit hole of what people with ECU ties are ADs, what regional ADs would make sense to replace John Gilbert. Again, this is all hypothetical. There's nothing finalized at this point, so we'll continue to monitor the situation, but we do have a thread going on HTC with a lot of that discussion. And if it comes to that, we'll discuss it on the radio show.
Yeah, a lot of interesting candidates brought up during the discussion.
Yeah, that was
so check it out on hoistthecolors.net.
Do you have to get that damn VIP?
You do for this thread.
Sorry, Coach.
I mean, you can start a non-VIP thread. It just probably won't have many replies about who the potential candidates can be.
Yeah, because you're not cool.
I mean, there's just...
Well, give us an offer, Igoe. Is there a free trial? Is there like...
You can get your first month for $1.
Yeah, pay $1 and you can read
pay $1 and then cancel tomorrow. I mean, literally, it's that easy.
What do you care? That dollar
goes a long way. It goes straight to 24/7 Sports, and I never see it.
And they cut you out like a dime, maybe?
Yeah, probably so.
All right, good deal. No basketball, Steven. What are you hearing about Sunday's game?
Well, I have a hard time believing that it's going to be played, but it sounds like they're going to go forward with the plan to play it. They were scheduled to return to some individual work today and tomorrow, and then potentially practice on Thursday, Friday, Saturday as a team, and then play Sunday. But Joe Dooley, he said on his coach's show last night, and I put this out there earlier today, that he will not coach the game on Sunday. Steve Rockefeller would be the acting head coach because, of course, Coach Dooley has tested positive. And the release from ECU last week said there were 5 positive cases. This was before Joe Dooley's announcement. So I assume before Joe Dooley was included in this. But so basically you're looking at more than 5 positive cases, I think, as of last Friday. You probably can't get those guys back by Sunday. So, I mean...
No, not if Newton was out, as long as he was.
Newton was out at least 2.5 weeks or so. I guess every case is different, but they still got to go through the return to play protocol. I just have a hard time seeing them play in Sunday and being not being severely shorthanded in any regard. I feel like they would have to go into that game down multiple players and their head coach.
Yeah, and I mean, Ellerby asked yesterday, well, okay, what if they do return? What kind of team are you expecting?
Yeah, I mean, you got to return against the longest and most athletic team in the league after you haven't practiced for, 3 weeks now? I mean, the whole situation is just... But at some point, too, you got to start playing games.
Yeah.
You can't just not play games forever, and if they meet the threshold, then I guess you have to play. But then you're looking at playing Sunday
Wednesdays.
Said but a lot, like
Saturday.
But
that's the problem with the situation is like there's no right answer because you can't just keep postponing these games forever if you meet the threshold. Otherwise, they're not going to get the games in.
Well, we kind of knew this was going to happen, but it's significant that the NCAA tournament comes out with their tournament dates, right? Because they're saying, if you don't have regular season games, you can't get in, or you got to push a conference tournament back. Oh, well, we're starting the tournament Tuesday, March 16th. So there's a deadline date there for that first 4 game to begin.
And what? I'm sure that there's a ton tied into the places in
Indianapolis,
where they're going to have the games and pack everybody in the hotels, etc. But I just don't understand why you wouldn't delay it. Like what's going on in April or May that you can't have the tournament then in the sports world?
I guess you could postpone anything. I agree. I find it interesting that because
it would just allow
they came out with these dates.
Yeah, it just would allow so much more time to get the games in.
This is basically saying the season wraps up on March 14th, whether that be all your conference tournaments or what. But
it's less than 2 months from now.
Yeah. So
how to me you can't feasibly get all these games in that are being postponed before then. So. I just don't. Are you going to have conference tournaments? I just don't see how this is all going to go smoothly at all. I think it's going to be a goat rodeo,
a total goat rodeo. And somebody asked Robert,
it can be a total goat rodeo.
Robert on Facebook Live. I wonder if the NCAA basketball tournament will resemble college football with the oddball records 23 and 7 versus 9 and 7. Yeah,
100%.
It is.
You'll probably have some of those mid-major teams that have played like 30 games somehow versus like a 8 and 6 ACC team or something stupid.
Pretty convenient, Igoe, that Duke, Kentucky, Michigan State, Louisville, North Carolina, not in the top 25. So when the committee goes to fill out the at-larges, they can take them instead of, mid-majors,
right,
quote unquote. But that's what's going to end up happening in the tournament this year.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Get some eyeballs on the tournament and make that ad money, that revenue that you keep bringing up, Stephen. The tournament has to be played.
The tournament has to be played. So, and I'm sure that all that revenue is tied into, hey, let's play it on these certain dates because we have these people lined up, these venues lined up, these television networks lined up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure it would be a major, major hassle to move it. But it also seems like if they really wanted to, they could postpone it because those networks are going to find spots for, True TV is going to be there when the NCAA needs it to broadcast the NCAA basketball tournament. Because whatever else comes on True TV, I don't know because I've never watched it outside of watching the basketball tournament.
And Practical Jokers. That's the only other show they run on the network. And it's pretty funny. Mike says just have a 3 to 4 day MTE to get all the makeup games in. Just a COVID fest.
Multi-team event.
MTEs for every team that has been affected. You can come for 2 days and play 2 games a day. And get the game.
I mean, honestly, why not? Why not?
AAU style.
AAU style. You play one game in the morning, you play the other game at like 9 o'clock at night. I mean, you probably have like 3 players from each team get hurt, but what other choice do you have?
There are no other options. All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back more with Stephen Igoe from Hoist the Colors here, hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Also got a giveaway coming up later on this hour as well. We're back with more after this.
Welcome back for another episode of ASMR with Alex. Today, we're exploring the delicious, refreshing sounds of Pepsi. Oh, spilled a little there, but don't worry, it's all under control. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, the ice. I mean, we really should have some more ice, right? Hold on, guys.
Wow, this is loud.
And we're back. Like I was saying, the delicious, refreshing sounds of Pepsi. Dude, I told you, I'm working on something in here.
Does anyone even watch this?
It's not about the views, Dave.
Jinx, you owe me a Pepsi.
Get out!
All right, fine. I'll leave.
Finally. Now for the best part. Pepsi. That's what I like. Nailed it. My subscriber is gonna love this one.
Are you gonna finish that Pepsi?
Been pulled over for speeding and written a ticket? Then you need to call O'Neill's Speedometer Service in Greenville. O'Neill's can calibrate all vehicles for speeding tickets. All-wheel drives, no problem. 18-wheelers, no problem. Motorcycles, no problem. O'Neill's can also repair instrument gauges that have stopped working. Whether you drive a Ford or GMC, Greenville's trusted speedometer shop for over 30 years is O'Neill's. Call today for repairs or calibration work at 756-5050. O'Neill's Speedometer Service. Go Pirates.
How much does the word reliable mean? Sure, all businesses describe themselves as reliable, and we certainly wouldn't expect any business to be unreliable, but when you take a word like reliable and make it your way of life, the entire core of your business, it tends to mean a little more. And it's something you have to show people, not tell them. At Delcor, we show it by being there the same day you call. We show it by simply doing outstanding work with exceptional products, a family-oriented work ethic, and genuine caring for all of our neighbors throughout Eastern NC, because in a time of need, we know the first and the only thing you need is someone you can count on. That's why we only use equipment you can count on too, like a train comfort system. It's hard to stop a train. Delcor can have a new train comfort system installed in no time, or we can provide an AC tune-up to make sure your system is performing well. So will your system keep you cool all summer? Find out. Call us. We're Delcor, the service professionals. Reliable for over 4 decades. Visit DelcorInc.com today.
Your future is yours to create. And with the leadership development of Army ROTC, you're capable of taking command of it. Even in the midst of a pandemic, enrolling in Army ROTC prepares you to thrive as a full-time college student. Our specialized elective courses will equip you with the skills necessary to succeed in life, all while earning money for education. A strong future takes a strong force. Find out how to lead at goarmy.com/ECU. To learn more, contact Dale Anderson at 252-622-5346 or Anderson DAL at ecu.edu.
It's bow time. There's something special about the first bite of a Bojangles Cajun Filet biscuit, like an edible alarm clock that slaps you awake with bold Cajun flavor. The moment you sink your teeth into that soft, fluffy, made-from-scratch biscuit, then strike gold with a juicy piece of fried chicken, you'll know. Nothing beats the first bite, except the second first bite. Get a Cajun Filet biscuit combo for just $4.99. It's bow time.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Find new roads with Chevrolet. Then come find yours at Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville.
Pirate Radio.
You know, I think this is a pretty blue-collar, tough, hard-nosed fan base, and that's where our teams are going to be.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. When your AC or heater needs repair or replacing, call on the reliable service professionals of Delcor Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Go to DelcorInc.com or call them at 252-321-8868. Delcor, the service professionals in Greenville. And taking a look at your stock market report for today, it was a good day for the stock market. The Dow was up 116 points at 930. The Nasdaq was ahead 198 points at 13,197, and the S&P was up 30 at 798. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Stephen Igoe joining me here today. We've talked ECU athletics, even though not much is going on currently. Football video came out today. Igoe, winter workouts, have they began?
Yes, today was the first official day with classes starting. So they were out there bright and early. I guess you could say early and dark.
Dark and early.
People always say bright and early, but I mean it was dark when they were out there as they started. So
can you do a timeline for us here, Stephen? It is the 19th of January. How long do the winter workouts last?
So these workouts, I think there's a 8-week block, and they start spring practice,
which will be
late March.
Okay, so really, this is the bridge to spring football.
This is the bridge to spring football.
Okay,
and this is the most important off season for East Carolina football in at least a decade. I mean, they have to get a full off season of work, and they have to develop these guys. There are so many young guys in the program that are on the cusp of becoming quality AAC level players. They just need the development, and really they need multiple years of development. But they have to start getting there this off season.
All right, and if we have anything to report with it, we will. Stephen will have some stuff.
Yeah, we talked about the new defensive ends coach at all.
Yeah.
He has not been officially announced, but speaking of pronunciation, we need
Doust.
Yeah, I mean that was going to be my guess. Tim Doust.
You haven't heard it said yet?
No, I haven't heard it said. I've just texted about it, and but he will be the new defensive end / outside linebackers coach. He's replacing Byron Thweet, which we do know how to pronounce now.
Yeah.
There was you look at his resume, I don't think he really has any direct ties to Mike Houston or the staff, but he's, he was a...
You sure the old staff didn't bring him in? He's a Mac guy. Weren't they big on the Mac?
They were big on the Mac.
Yeah.
And like SEC retreads, but anyways... This guy, I like him. He's intense. He has defensive coordinator experience. He was at Ball State as a DC. He was the DC at Western Michigan. He was the special teams coordinator at Syracuse for 4 or 5 years. He coached Chandler Jones, who was a first-round pick in the NFL as a defensive end. So, very good resume, knows his stuff, energetic, solid recruiter.
I'm not sure how this is a solid hire. Stephen Igoe.
That's a very good point. Were you the Facebook poster who?
No, I just saw the Facebook commenters on your post.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I don't want to say I agree with that, but
you don't see how it's a solid hire.
What does solid mean?
Solid, like pretty good.
They needed a coach, and they brought in a coach.
Yeah, and it's a solid coach.
Why is he solid?
Because when he was the defensive coordinator at Western Michigan. In 2017,
the Broncos,
and 18.
Was he with PJ Fleck?
No, he was right after PJ.
Oh. See, that would have been solid.
His defense is ranked in the top 60 both years in total defense. When's the last time ECU ranked top 60 in total defense? Ever?
2009, maybe.
I think when Rick Smith was here, they did it 1 year. But either way, he's got coordinator experience on special teams and defense. He's coached an NFL first-round draft pick. What else do you need?
I want to bring this up. I brought it up yesterday in the show. Sam Houston State is a familiar name. Was there not a coach that we
Rod Wright?
That's who it was.
And he was a solid.
I like Rod Wright. Where's he at?
He's at ETSA. But Rod Wright, when he was hired from Sam Houston State, were you saying, why is this solid?
No, I need to. Let's see what he does before I say
see what he does. I'm just saying the resume is solid.
I'm not saying he's liquid or gaseous. I'm just gaseous Cassius Clay.
I'm just glad Tim Doust's name is not Tim accompanying.
You said it pretty good there.
That was good.
Well, I listened to I looked it up on Google and listened to the sound about 50 times.
You've been practicing?
Yeah.
I would say last year when Mike Houston brought in Blake Harrell, it seemed like a solid hire. And it's looking like a solid hire.
Okay.
And then Steve Ellis looked like a solid hire.
Was Bob Trott a solid hire?
No, this is exactly.
At the time, probably so, yeah. But he came with them on staff.
Are you ever going to admit that you said somebody was a solid hire that wasn't a solid hire? No. So this is pointless.
At one time.
Huh?
I'm sure, yeah. During Scotty's first staff hirings, Antonio King, I was like...
Did you say solid hire?
I was like, maybe in recruiting, but as a running backs coach, no.
But at the time, you said this is a solid hire.
I don't know. We'll have to go back and see.
I'm sure we did because we sat here and we're like, oh, this is great for North Carolina high schools. He knows the area. He knows the guys.
I mean, in theory, yeah.
This is a home run hire.
We never said that.
It was a foul ball, though. They reviewed it, and it didn't work out. All right. Anyway.
I mean, it's just a solid hire. That's the point.
Okay. We can move on.
How would you define it then?
Huh?
How would you define it?
First of all, you can't define a word by saying the word.
How would you define the hire?
Oh, it was a need. It was a hire. They needed a football coach.
So you would have...
And they got him.
Okay.
But there's never been a hire where you go, this is a terrible hire. On the assistant side.
As a news person like I am that doesn't get into opinions I would say ECU makes football hire.
Okay.
Boom.
But he's telling you how to do your job,
I'm just saying, if you want to be your opinion.
So basically you're saying that this Facebook guy is your alter ego?
He's right.
It was Clip Rock who commented.
No, the best part about it was there was one person who said it was a great hire.
I know.
One person was like...
Bottom line, we don't know.
Yeah. I mean, in reality, time will tell. On paper, it's a solid freaking hire. Back off.
Stephen Igoe once said, you don't play these games on paperclip.
You don't.
So, just putting that out there.
Purple khakis.
Purple shorts. Steven Soapbox. I guess Steve wants to talk about Deshaun Watson more. Have you put together your package for Watson?
3 first-round picks, Jerry Jeudy and Drew Lock.
Really?
Yeah, I would do it.
So that you go ahead and
I'll go all in. I don't. Again, the problem is with
which Lock really doesn't matter. But if they want a quarterback,
he's a throw in as a quarterback. He doesn't have
Jeudy and 3 first rounders. That's a big deal.
I mean, that would be a massive move.
Yeah,
it's like Chandler was saying earlier. When have we ever had the opportunity, any of these teams, to trade for a quarterback in his prime? Like, nobody puts those quarterbacks, a top 5 quarterback.
He's 25 years old.
That's 25 in the middle of his prime on the trading block. So, like, this would be a unprecedented trade package.
I'm trying to think. So, Drew Brees got hurt with the Chargers.
Yep.
And
he signed as a free agent.
How old? So, he had played 5 years. Was he in a Pro Bowl? 4. So, he was in... Where was I at? Pro Bowl. He had made a Pro Bowl... Okay, 1 Pro Bowl with the Chargers. But he was not. I don't think he was looked at as an all-world guy.
He was like a well above average, but not elite quarterback at that time.
And coming off a massive injury.
Like, there were legit questions whether his shoulder would repair and recover. And
famously, the Dolphins went with Dante Culpepper, and the Saints gladly took Breeze, which might have been Sean Payton's first year in 06.
I think it was. He's been there forever.
So Breeze and I was just looking at him because he's the guy I thought of. Like, a lot of these guys don't become free agents that are Hall of Famers like this.
You just get
in their career
renewed. You
get them on the back end, but not
like Tom Brady, Peyton,
right?
But I just think there are so many teams out there that need a top 5 quarterback. I mean, there's like 5 teams really that don't need Deshaun Watson, and the rest will probably do what it takes to trade for him. So what is the package? And to me, like, if you're Deshaun Watson, you can probably demand where you want to be traded. So, coming home to the Carolinas makes sense. I don't know where's he originally from, do we know? He played at Clemson, obviously, but
and if you're Houston, I realize you don't want to trade him, but he's upset, and I mean, you're throwing him 3 picks and Jeudy. Just think of what these teams are going to throw him.
You start putting the Panthers and Broncos against each other. Like, me and Chandler could go through the scenarios now of what we would and wouldn't give up for Deshaun Watson. I mean, you could get just a massive haul, but I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, it sounds like the Texans don't want to trade him, but Deshaun Watson wants to be traded. So it's tough to figure out how this is going to play out.
All these teams need to take advantage of this opportunity, and then the Houston Texans also need to take advantage of this opportunity of the offers they're going to get from all these teams.
Yeah,
you got to at least listen.
I mean,
it's going to be who's willing to give up more, who's willing to give up the most.
But I believe Watson does have a no trade clause, so he can choose his destination.
Get traded to. So, and I think that's a big part of it. Like, he probably, if this actually goes down, he'll probably come to the Texans and say, "Hey, these 5 teams are who I want to play for. Make this work."
Just think if that list gets out, and those fan bases are going to lose their minds. He is a Georgia boy, Igoe, so going home would kind of be
even
Falcons.
Falcons could be in the mix. I mean, with Matt Ryan. So, I mean, honestly, you could make the case for 25 teams that would trade for him, and I think it comes down to who he wants to get traded to, and then for on the Texans side of things, can they do anything to rectify the situation? Or if it's clear that Deshaun Watson is never going to be happy with the Texans, I think you trade him now because his value will never be higher.
What do the Falcons have to offer?
Picks,
bunch of picks,
other than picks.
Old Matt Ryan, old Julio.
But now the Falcons also
do like an NBA deal when the Nets got Garnett and Paul Pierce. Give them Ryan and Julio.
Now the Falcons are set up to get their franchise quarterback at 4.
Yeah, they are. Maybe they give him the 4th overall pick.
Oh.
And 2 more first.
We'll see. I mean, it's like I said, whoever has the best offer, and everybody's going to give their best offer. So
yeah, and I think if you are the Panthers, I mean, I think the McCaffrey thing makes sense. Like if you legit have a chance to get Deshaun Watson, a quarterback's more valuable than a running back. I mean, think about how long Deshaun Watson can be your franchise quarterback versus how long McCaffrey will be your franchise running back.
True.
It's kind of what I was talking about earlier in the show.
Very true. Igoe, Pat Mahomes he's got a neck deal. Not a deal with a neck, but a neck injury. And
he is back in high school.
What is that now?
When you walk around giving everybody necks.
Okay, so how much older am I than you? We didn't go to high school together.
How old are you, Steven?
How old are you, Steven?
I'm 28.
Okay, I'm I remember 11 years older than
you. Remember necks?
Like if you said something stupid,
you get a neck.
Back in the neck.
I feel like you're about to do it.
No,
I'll somebody in the neck.
Yeah, you just literally slap them on the back of the neck for saying something stupid. But then people would take it out of, it would just get out of hand and they would just be walking around giving necks for no reason.
Yeah.
You had to earn your neck.
Yeah, that's when I lost.
You could cough and they'd be like, oh, neck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Were you a fighter? Did you ever get in fights?
No, I'd never gotten a fight.
Were you a lover or a fighter?
I was definitely a lover. Now, unless it was sports, I had a temper. If
like while you were playing?
Yeah, we got competitive, man. I would lose it quickly.
What did you letter in at Conley?
I played baseball for 2 years, and then
for Mills.
Yeah, and that was it.
Did you like Mills?
I'm not going to go there on that.
Wow.
Mills and me have a good relationship. Off the air.
Yeah.
We have some things to settle.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
But no, Mills is my guy.
Like, we need to set that up.
Yes,
I've had buddies that play with him that was like, yeah, he was.
I never had him as a teacher. Was a problem.
Yeah.
For chemistry class, I heard he would do some awesome things. So,
well, I never had him as a coach, so I love the guy. Pat Mahomes, Igoe, concussion protocol. Adam Schefter said he's also got a foot deal going on. He's got a lot of deals right now.
He's got a lot of deals.
He's going to play. But if he doesn't, and Chad Henne steps in, the Chiefs are fine anyway, right?
No. You think Chad Henne can beat the Bills?
I don't, but that was very impressive what he was able to do on Sunday.
That run was awesome, and the spot was even better. I mean, the live ball spot, can we talk about that for a minute? As much as we crap on the referees?
Oh, because like they put it where he took off, where he started to take off rather than where the ball was.
Well, they spotted it correctly.
Right, yeah.
Where his elbow hit.
Elbow touched, and the ball was at least a yard behind the first.
Yeah, like watching it live, I was like, that was a terrible spot, and then showed the replay. I'm like, that's the best spot I've ever seen.
All right, giving credits to the refs.
I'm just saying, it was amazing.
All right.
Think about the chances of, it was probably total luck, but I just thought it was very impressive in that spot.
Chiefs, Bills, and then you got, of course, Brady, Rodgers, Packers, and Bucks coming up on Sunday. How do you like how the Final Four sets up?
I'm excited.
I think it's great.
I think it's pretty much, it's all chalk, right? No, outside of Tampa.
Bucks.
But for the most part, all chalk, especially in the AFC, is somebody trying to break into the Pirate Radio.
that dang Big Buck.
That was a loud noise. It must be Big Buck McCluskey here outside. We all kind of looked at each other there.
I'm flustered now.
We're fine, Buck. We're out of Twitter jail now.
I'm very excited about the AFC game. But I remember watching the NFC game during the regular season when they played in Tampa, and Tampa just crushed
they blew
Green
them
Bay.
out. Rodgers did the thrust.
Yep.
After a touchdown, and then Tampa scored like 28 in a row.
I just feel like it's such a different dynamic now going to Lambeau versus playing in Tampa. And Brady's played really well, but I feel like he's due for a bad game. And
the thing is, they've been able to run the ball too.
Yeah,
Leonard Fournette has looked good. Ronald Jones returned, and he looks good. What did they have last game? Fournette had 63, Jones 62. They spread them between 30 carries. I mean, that's good numbers.
Yeah, I mean they've been extremely balanced, and they have so many weapons. Like even Scotty Miller making that one big catch, Gronk randomly making plays, and Antonio Brown, even though he was banged up last game, they just have so many weapons. It's hard to take it all away. But Green Bay's defense is legit and underrated. So I think it's going to be Green Bay and Kansas City, which will make for a great Super Bowl, even though it'll be both 1 seeds.
Bills have not played their best in these playoffs, and Diggs is going to score every game. He's done that in both playoff games, but just the numbers themselves, they have they toyed around with the Colts. That the Baltimore, the one interception changed the whole game. If Jackson throws a touchdown there, we're tied. But even after that, that's what made it 17-3, right? And then the Bills didn't do anything the rest of that game.
No, it was far from crisp.
Yeah,
it was. It was a very matter-of-fact performance. Now, of course, their defense holding the Ravens to 3 is pretty dang impressive.
That's impressive. It is.
So, yeah, and their regular season game was very odd, the Bills and the Chiefs. The Bills had a game plan of let's play the pass the entire game. And so the Chiefs just ran the ball for like 4 yards a carry and just did that the entire game. And it was ugly. And
that was that weird midweek game.
Yep, that weird midweek Tuesday game.
Yeah, gotcha.
And that was the Bills' game plan to legitimately not let Patrick Mahomes beat them through the air. And all they did was ran the ball.
And to your point, Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 161 rushing yards in that game.
I mean, they ran it efficiently. So the Bills, to be certain, aren't going to do the exact same thing. I mean, they have to do something different.
All right, Steven, thanks for hanging out. We'll talk more on Thursday.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Shirley Rhodes, let's open up the Pirate Radio Booty Bag.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
317-1250. What in the world was that?
That was that dang pop-up thing again.
I got to say, that was from ESPN.com, not HTC.
Every site does it. Ad revenue.
317-1250. We're giving away a $10 gift card to Villa Verde Dos if you are caller number
8.
Caller number 8 is the winner right now. 317-1250. We're back with more after this.
Pirate fans always win big at Quality Equipment, and now you can win even bigger during their Green Wave clearance. Catch the wave of clearance savings done right on John Deere compact tractors, Gator utility vehicles, riding mowers, commercial mowers, and even mower attachments. Quantities are limited and everything is priced to move, so don't wait. Quality Equipment wants you to get the John Deere that will help you dominate your home turf. Check out the latest Green Wave clearance savings at qualityequip.com/greenwave.
Medicare is not one size fits all, but which plan is right for you? Hi, I'm Denise Walker, and I'm a licensed insurance agent here in North Carolina. Whether you are turning 65, new to Medicare, or already have a plan, I can help you compare your Medicare options. I can help you find a plan offering low to no monthly premiums, prescription drug coverage, and a wide range of additional benefits like dental, hearing, vision, and more. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in Eastern North Carolina. With Blackwood and Mills Creek in Greenville, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar and Ayden, these are just a few of the developments featuring BMS Builders homes. They can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or East Carolina football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. BMS Builders. Give them a call at 916-1578 for BMS Builders.
Hey
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
Hi, this is Billy Parker from Parker's Barbecue. I am so excited to announce a brand new menu item now available at all Parker's locations. Come in for our delicious new boneless wings. Our wings are fresh, hand-cut, right there in the store. Never frozen, and our wings are big. Try them tossed in one of our signature sauces, sweet red barbecue sauce or barbecue honey mustard. Get a boneless wing bag for less than $5. That includes 6 boneless wings with hush puppies and corn sticks. Parker's Barbecue, a homemade tradition for over 50 years.
Let us help you get back to business.
This is Donald Stocks
and Justin Judge of PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
We're ready to assist your business with branded PPE. Would you like face masks with your logo? We can do that, plus custom social distancing signage.
Now is the time to ramp up your marketing efforts. Whether it's cutting-edge, contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail, we can do it all.
We are PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
Hey, this is Troy D, and if you're looking for some fresh and healthy food options to help you live a healthier lifestyle, but you still want that great taste, then go visit our friends at Villa Verde. Ain't that right, Jay?
That's right, Troy. We have 2 locations to serve you. Our original location on 10th Street and Villa Verde Dos, our quick serve location, which is on Arlington Boulevard.
And Jay, I love the ACP and grilled chicken and veggies. So many great options.
Hey, man, we got anything from lobster to roasted pork to rotisserie chicken and salads. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
Over 32 years ago, the Ronald McDonald House of Eastern North Carolina opened its doors as a place to help families stay together and close to the care they need when they have a sick child. With the addition of a second Ronald McDonald House inside the Maynard Children's Hospital, our need to serve is greater than ever as the medical community flourishes. Help us expand our mission of keeping families close as we grow to meet that need. You can show your support by making a donation to the Ronald McDonald House. Visit our website today at rmhenc.org for more information. Thank you for your support.
This is Billy Weaver from WITN. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. At Angel Oak, they continue to make customer service a #1 priority. A local mortgage advisor is the key to your transaction success. The combination of their local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional government and portfolio loans has something for every financial situation. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060. And congratulations to Wayne Baker of Chocowinity. Picked up a $10 gift card to Villa Verde Dos. Villa Verde Dos by the hospital is open for you, serving unique and healthy dishes from the Dominican Republic. Order online at myvillaverde.com or the Villa Verde app. Whether it's dine-in or takeout, Villa Verde Dos is a platform for good. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Barak.
Alrighty, coming up on Wednesday's edition of Pirate Radio Live, the return of Wager McGee will get you ready for Sunday's football action. Wager also was brainstorming some other topics to talk about. He said FCS futures. So good. You've got, I guess, a spring football season coming up in the FCS, although I have already seen several teams back out from that. So we'll see. Fingers crossed that there will be more football after the NFL season is over with. Shirley, I guess the Rock's new XFL is 2022.
That's correct.
Okay, yeah. So no, although there's that other league that Chad told us about. Do you remember the name of that, Chandler or Shirley? It was like,
what was that?
Fan-controlled football. There's a now when I don't know what the heck this is. I guess there's going to be a way another professional league. I'll have to do some research on this and figure it out. Never mind. All right.
Oh, also, I just saw on Twitter that Don Sutton, the longtime Atlanta Braves, part of that popular Atlanta Braves broadcasting team.
With Skip and Pete Van Leeuwen.
And was also a Hall of Famer in his own right.
Yep.
And he passed away today at the age of 75.
Yep, hate to see that. Heard a lot of him, of course, growing up being an Atlanta Braves fan. So, sad news there. Don Sutton passing away. Chandler, we talked a lot about Deshaun Watson today and moving forward. How many mock drafts are you looking at per day when it comes to your Panthers right now? Are you still in mock draft mode?
I have kind of fallen apart with the mock draft.
Still got a long ways to go.
Now I'm kind of too worried about this potential Deshaun Watson trade. I'm not really worried about because if we make this trade, there goes our pick. So
yeah,
I'm really not worried about a mock draft right now. Latest I've seen is that we're getting Mac Jones. Mac Jones is actually on the Carolina Panthers staff at the Senior Bowl. So the Panthers will get a up close and personal look at Mac Jones. So we'll see what happens there.
So if he's available and they don't take him, it tells you that they didn't like what they saw up close and personal. If they do take him, then he impressed them at the Senior Bowl. And I don't know.
And I think that's the advantage of your staff being the coaching staff of a Senior Bowl team, being able to see those guys and seeing what you want and kind of evaluate guys.
Talking to them too, right? Getting to know them as people that you want in your organization.
That's right.
I mean, you could go a long way in that.
You could see how they are on the sidelines. You can see how they are on the field, interacting with players, in the locker room and in practice. So yeah, you're right on that.
What's your ranking? So you're not going to get Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence. What's your ranking between Jones, Lance, and Wilson?
Well, I think Wilson's out of the.
You think you're not going to get him either?
Wilson's out of the picture.
Well, again, I saw a scenario where you could trade up.
Yeah, you did mention that.
So I'm going to add him to he'll be number one then.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Zach Wilson.
I love Zach Wilson.
Okay.
Thanks to the C3 Panther podcast, I've fallen in love with Zach Wilson. Cody Lashney, who is Tony Dunn's co-host of the C3 Panther podcast, is a big-time Zach Wilson fan. A lot of media outlets in Charlotte are big Zach Wilson fans, so I've been watching. Whenever I had a chance to watch some of his games this year, I did, and then I've also went back and watched some of his highlights. So he's my number one. I guess I would go Mac Jones, number two, Trey Lance, number three. I think Trey Lance is the biggest project quarterback out there.
And Jones is so hard to determine because he has a great O-line.
And a great receiver in Devontae Smith.
The best receivers.
And Waddle.
And he's got a run game that teams have to worry about as well. So everything he throws, he's got a pretty much clean pocket and a wide open guy.
Yeah.
You know? So he's just so hard to judge if you're one of these talent evaluators in the NFL.
And maybe they'll see that they'll see that in the Senior Bowl practices and stuff. But also, it's the best offensive line in college football. Some of the best offensive linemen in college football are going to be blocking for him in that game. So we'll see. But I really do think that Zach Wilson won't be there. But if it comes down to Mac Jones or Trey Lance, I think you got to take Mac Jones. I've seen some mock drafts where Justin Fields doesn't go till the 15th pick to New England.
So what if he's available?
I don't know.
Where does he fall? Is he ahead of Zach Wilson, or you want Wilson over Fields?
I don't know. That's a good question. Thank God I'm not Scott Federer.
What's his name? It's like Fitterer.
Am I saying Fett? Like
Roger
F-E?
Federer. Yeah.
Scott Fitterer.
Once again, we are still keeping an eye on anything that happens with the Tennessee athletics director search. And Igoe mentioned it earlier that Tennessee has indeed reached out to John Gilbert as they are talking to candidates to fill that opening. And if you go to Hoist the Colors, there's already a thread about, all right, who do we get if John Gilbert leaves? So that's what message boards are for, the cart before the horse there. So that's, and again, there's no like basketball going on. There's nothing to occupy our time. So all we have to do right now is speculate on things and talk about hypotheticals.
I was going to bring up the question with Igoe, but I think it might be a little inappropriate. But I don't know who. I guess the Board of Trustees would make this decision, but if they are speculating that he's going to leave, do they need to go ahead and kind of be on the lookout of who they're going to replace? We talked about it earlier in the show. When you fire somebody and you don't know who you're going to go get, it's best to know who you want, and so when that guy leaves, you can go out and get him.
Yeah. Well, then you've got to have a list, and an emergency list of if something happens to your head football coach or your head coaches, your AD. You've got to have some names already ready to go if that happens.
I haven't looked at the list of candidates for the Tennessee athletic director job, but you got to think that John Gilbert's the best fit for that job with his personal ties, with his kids, and also his past history in administration. It looks like right now that John Gilbert, I'm not going to say he's a lead candidate, but
I don't know. I mean, they're going to reach out to a lot of different guys. I don't know. I don't know where he falls in the pecking order there. I just know that.
But it's no surprise that he's already in the carousel.
Yeah.
Or that he's already in the hat.
Yeah. All right, let's get our last break in. We'll come back. You're ready to wrap up this Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. And we'll tell you about the big podcast coming up at 6 o'clock right here on Pirate Radio in 6 minutes.
Going to be a good one.
Yes, sir. So stick around for that. We'll wrap it up after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
Happy New Year's from Brown & Wood. This month, get a 2020 Buick Enclave and save up to $6,250 or $4,000 plus 0% for 72 months. And remember, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Find yourself working from home or at least spending more time there? Want some remodeling for your house or a fresh look? How about a new deck or screened-in porch to add livable space outside? Don't know who to call? Well, you do now. Call the professionals at R&R Remodeling. They've been serving the local community for 15 years. Ronnie and his crew can help you today. Call for a free quote, 252-286-4119, or visit R&R Remodeling on Facebook. R&R Remodeling, construction you can count on.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Blake Hardigree with ECU Baseball. I want to invite you to join our team on Saturday, February 13th virtually for our 2021 Pirate Baseball Banquet. Our keynote speakers are former ECU players Alec Burleson and Bryant Packard. We will have an auction through the Handbid app starting at noon on Saturday, February 6th and closing on Saturday, February 13th at 6 p.m. All proceeds from the banquet will go directly to ECU Baseball. Check ECU Baseball social media for the links and get your tickets today. We look forward to having you. Go Pirates!
At Tiebreakers, we admit we have a bit of a problem. People love our wings so much that they're starting to sell their home TVs just so they can watch all the sporting events here at Tiebreakers. Seriously, we're glad you love our hand-breaded, hand-cut boneless wings that much, but we really need you to go home at the end of the night. It's okay, we'll be here tomorrow, and when you come back, bring a friend with you. For great food, great friends, and cold beer, we'll see you at Tiebreakers. Tiebreakers, break the chain, eat local.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender.
The best place for delicious food and great prices is Familia. Familia has $6 lunch specials, a $10 pizza of the week, and every Thursday has $2 drafts all day. Sunday brunch is the best for food and family. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp and grits, made-to-order omelets, French toast, and drink specials like $3 mimosas, beer mimosas, or $5 Bloody Marys. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
They say nothing in life is free. Well, we're here to tell you they're wrong. Because when you switch to US Cellular, you can get the latest 5G phones for free with no hidden requirements. Yes, you heard that right. The Samsung Galaxy S20 FE or the Google Pixel 5 for free with no hidden requirements. US Cellular. Terms and conditions apply. See store or uscellular.com for details.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
This is Brian Bailey, host of The Brian Bailey Show, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Hey, don't forget, the Pirate Radio podcast is back at 6 o'clock in just a couple of minutes as Ellerby and special co-host Eddie Losner will go on one-on-one with Eric Legrand. Eric was paralyzed over a decade ago, and a Rutgers football game has gone on to be an inspiration of hope and positivity to people all over the world. Tune in tonight to the podcast at 6 o'clock on 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 FM in Washington, of course, online at pr927fm.com, and be sure to subscribe to our podcast in your Apple Store. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
So Eddie Losner will be accompanying Ellerby tonight at 6.
That would be... You said it.
That was good, right? I think I got it.
Oh, my goodness.
I think I said it correctly. Excitement time.
Wow.
We had a caller during the break that said, is it true that Mike Wright signed with the White Sox? And I said,
I had not heard that.
I haven't heard that, but it appears he did receive a minor league contract with the White Sox. If you look at his baseball reference page, it says his team is the White Sox, parentheses minors. And Chandler found some articles as well that he had been signed to a minor league deal. So, he wins a championship over in Korea. Unfortunately, this is when I tested positive for COVID. I was going to interview Mike Wright that day, and I was out. And Troy, I believe, talked to him on the program, if I'm not mistaken.
And he'll be right up down the road in Charlotte. I think I saw where he was assigned to the Charlotte Knights.
And going back to our Sam Naren interview, if there is a minor league baseball season, that is still kind of up in the air right now as far as what they're going to do. All right, big Pirate Radio podcast on the way. Eric Legrand joining Ellerby and Eddie Losner. We'll see you Wednesday at 5 o'clock with Wager McGee, the voice Jeff Charles, Bryce Williams, and a lot more coming up Wednesday right here on Pirate Radio Live. Thanks for tuning in today. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM.